down with it.
Well, because I don't have a conversation in Emma's server where I can get kicked and muted unfairly. Did you see what happened to Crit yesterday? He got kicked for no reason, just because one of the salty mods
left of his own accord.
Just because Emma's salty ass didn't want to hear him talk anymore. So she was like, oh, I'm just going to...
Emma wasn't I don't even there. Ask Crit. Was Emma there? Is he here?
Now you're lying.
It was Emma even there.
Because I watched the video that you put out, and Emma was there. Emma was the one that kicked Crit's ass out of her Discord yesterday.
No.
Wow, you're blatantly lying. I already know you're a liar, though, so I expected this. But for the people out there that are listening that don't know that Bev is a liar, go and watch the video that he put out yesterday, where you can clearly see Emma kicking Crit out of her Discord. You can clearly see that.
Brilliant. Is that what you wanted to come and have a chat about, Babs? Is that
no? It's what you're bringing up right now. I'm just responding to what you're bringing up right now. But there's several things we need to talk about. First of all, like how you've been lying about me. Why do you lie about me, Bev?
Oh.
Why do you feel the need to do that?
Is this what you wanted to talk about?
It seems like ever since I debated you, you've just been on a smear campaign.
Babs, I do not know who you are. I don't talk about you.
Really? You don't know who I am? When you watched majority of Nathan Oakley's videos, when I was there, I personally saw you commenting.
I do not know who you are. You were watching the comments. You were watching me commenting while you were on there.
Emma commenting on me. Emma called me a weirdo. You talked about me a little bit. But yeah, you guys talk about me all the time. You've known about me for a long time. This is all part of your
act. I still don't know who you are, Babs. I still don't know.
Just pretend to act like you don't know what's going on. It's all part of your game.
All I know is you have claimed to be the flat earth messiah many times.
Well, I'm probably not, but I've got to think that if people parrot my rhetoric, what am I supposed to think?
Your rhetoric?
Yeah.
Please tell me, what is your best rhetoric? The flat earthers parrot, please.
What is my best rhetoric? Yes, most recently, the circular horizon. That was the best.
The circular straight line.
Most recently.
Do you know?
It was so good that other flat earthers chose to go on board with that idea and work with it.
Okay. Now, in mathematics, the definition of a horizontal line is that which is parallel to the plane of the horizon. So if a horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon, how can it be a circle?
Right, because what you fail to realize is that you're looking at a sector of a larger circle, and you seem to have a problem with scale because you're looking at a tiny area and considering Earth to be flat based on that.
What the man just said. You're misinterpreting what's just been said.
Okay, how am I misinterpreting what has just been said?
Not curved. How am I misinterpreting what he just said? Parallel lines to the horizon, which is dead level, no curvature, a straight line.
Okay, so we can work with that idea if you want to.
So Jin isn't parroting your words, then, is he? That seems
no, he's
like
not. He's not, and I'm responding to Jin right now. If you're going to say that the horizon is a straight line, okay? Why do I see it in all directions then? Why do I see it behind me and on the left and right of me? How can a straight line do that? This is what we talked about a few months ago, Bev. Remember on Jose's show when I embarrassed you? This is the reason that you've been on this smear campaign.
You're going to embarrass yourself again, aren't you?
You had to go out of your way and pretend that I didn't know what I was talking about.
All I've ever said is that the horizon is parallel to horizon. All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. That's how surveying works. That's all I've ever said. Level is a straight line on a horizontal plane. All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. Therefore, all horizontals are parallel to each other. Horizontal lines do not intersect. Right lines.
Yeah, that's true. But what you fail to realize, though, is a curved line can appear straight depending on the frame of reference that you're observing it from. They explained this to you the last time you were here by showing you a line drawn on a soccer ball, on a basketball, to explain that depending on your frame of reference, that line can appear straight. And that's the same concept that I'm trying to explain to you here, that depending on the frame of reference that you're looking at the horizon from, it can appear as a straight line. But that still doesn't substantiate why we see it in all directions. Because if it was a straight line, it would only go from left to right. It wouldn't surround the observer. But that's what we see in reality. We see the horizon.
Ever heard of Dornagon?
No, it's not. It's not a Donegon. It's just a fact of reality. Every single direction you look in, you see the horizon. That is factual.
It's a straight line, right? It's because your concept of it is a circle, but it's not. It's a straight line.
Why do I see it in all directions then?
Because it is a straight line on a horizontal plane.
If that was the case,
that's why it's a straight line. That's why you always see it as a straight line.
But if that was the case, I wouldn't see it behind me then.
You can't see it behind you. Can you?
I can't.
We've got a mirror in front of you or something. Just turn around. Yeah. Everywhere you look, it is a straight line. It's a horizontal line, right? The fact that you can turn around in a circle does not make that straight line into a circle.
You seem to have a problem with scale, and you seem to have a problem with
what, a scale of straight line?
Yeah.
What scale of a straight line do you want to go with?
The scale that applies to an Earth that's as large as the Earth that we live on.
Okay, how big's that?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know how big it is.
So it's just a straight line then. That's what we've got to go with. Of what scale? Like you can't really scale a straight line, can you?
You can see it in every direction. A straight line can't do that.
A plane then, let's say.
Okay, let's go with that then. Let's say that Earth is a plane. What measurements have you done to substantiate that?
Well, horizontal plane.
What measurements have you done to substantiate that the Earth is a horizontal plane?
I've worked out that levels and water levels establish a horizontal.
That's true, and that's already.
What have you done? What have you done, Babs?
Well, you're the one that's making the claim, so I have every right to question the claims that you're making.
No, you're just coming here asking me questions, right? What claim?
Wait, I can ask you questions because you're the one that's claiming that level.
Okay, right. So what have you done? It's a counter, since you're asking me questions. Why are we
talking about what I've done when you're the one that's making a claim?
I've just told you, asked me what I have done. I said I've used water levels, and I have established that they do, in fact, establish a horizontal plane of reference, which you agreed with, right? So what have you done to establish that it is? Because you did agree with me. So what have you done to establish that they do, in fact, establish a horizontal plane of reference?
Well, I haven't done anything to establish that. And just like I said, You're the one that's making the claim, so you're the one that has to provide the evidence. All you've done so far is just establish what planar surveying has already established. We already know that locally, the Earth appears to be flat locally, but that doesn't apply to larger scale observations.
Horizontal is
you're only dealing with planar surveying. You're not talking about geodetic surveying, which is a whole different animal.
What do you know about that?
You can't explain why reciprocal.
What do you know about that?
Why do I have to know anything about that when you're the one that's making claims?
Because you're talking about it as though you know things about it.
So I can't ask questions about something I want to know more about. I can't ask questions about.
Are you asking me questions about it now?
Why can't I do that? Why can't I ask you questions?
You can ask me questions, Babs, but
Okay.
I don't want just a big string of questions, please.
So
Is
what do you
this
want?
meant to be a debate or a question and answer session? And do I ever get to ask any questions?
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask questions, and you don't seem to know what a debate is because you considered what happened between me and you on Jose's show to not be a debate. So could you define what a debate is?
Near a debate.
So since you think that was a debate, could you define what a debate is then, so we can know what a debate is?
We would have to have.
Let's not waste time
to be debating, Babs. I don't want to be doing that right now. You didn't want to debate, so we didn't arrange a debate. You wanted a chat. This is the chat we are having. Please.
And that's what we're doing right now. We're having a chat right now. Just
okay. Now, do I get chance to ask any questions in this chat?
Go ahead. Go ahead. But you have to answer. If you're going to ask questions, you're going to have to ask. You're going to have to answer questions as well. And so far, you haven't answered any questions. You haven't answered any questions. I asked you how you. Substantiated what measurements you made to substantiate that the Earth is planar, and you haven't answered that yet. So can you go ahead and answer that?
Look, you're interrupting. You're going on. You're monologuing. Can you shut up? Bloody hell!
Why are you even in this conversation?
He made a concise statement. He made a concise statement about the horizon.
Can he respond to that then?
What? That I made a concise statement about the horizon, saying that all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. And I have also established that a water level and an auto level both establish a horizontal plane of reference, which you agreed with.
So because water levels...
What is the claim? What is the claim that you think goes along with that?
Okay, so the claim is that water levels establish a horizontal plane of reference, which I agree with. But I'm asking you, how does that prove that we live on a planar Earth?
It doesn't.
That's what I'm asking. It doesn't. So what is the point of the argument then? Why are you claiming that level is horizontal? What is the point of doing this?
That's all I've done. I said level is horizontal, Babs.
If it doesn't prove anything, then why are you doing it?
Babs, I just said
why are you talking about level being horizontal if it doesn't prove a goddamn thing?
I said it, and what I noticed was there is a certain group of people that get triggered by hearing things that are obvious truths. I mean, even you agree with me that level is horizontal, and a water level establishes a horizontal plane of reference, right?
I'm agreeing with you, but in terms of, I'm agreeing with you, but in terms of context, what does this prove? If this doesn't prove that we live on a planar Earth, then what is the point of you doing this?
Doing what?
Saying that level is horizontal. What does this prove?
Somebody called me a child abuser because I said it to my son, Babs.
Right, but you haven't substantiated that we live on a planar Earth. Your argument is null and void.
Babs, right. So at the beginning, you said level is horizontal, right? You say it is, but have you proved it to yourself? If someone were to call you a child abuser for saying level is horizontal, how sure would you be that you were not a child abuser? How would you prove that level is horizontal to yourself to make sure that you were definitely not a child abuser, Babs? How would you do that?
Well, because I'm not a child abuser, so that doesn't apply to me either. Just like I'm not a creepy, thirsty dude looking to talk to girls on the internet like you try to claim that I was. When you said that I was
I've never claimed
looking to have private conversations with Emma and Paige. Because you're a jackass. That's why you said
You
that
did.
about me.
You wanted to have
So,
private conversations.
It doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is that it doesn't matter what personal attacks people want to make on you or me. What matters is the points that we're making. We need to stick to the argument. If you're going to say that level is horizontal, you're going to need to provide evidence to substantiate that. Exactly. It doesn't matter what Craig said or Fight the Flat Earth has to say about any of this. What matters is your evidence. Can you provide evidence of that? Can you provide evidence of that?
I have proved it to myself, and I have said to anybody that wants to come, they can come over and watch a presentation of it. Judge for themselves.
So level is horizontal. We can go with that, but that's also true on the globe Earth, because locally level is horizontal, but that's not true on a larger scale. And you haven't proven
you want to watch what you're saying, they'll be getting upset with you.
Babs, are you saying that it's a globe? Babs, are you saying that it's a globe, a flat plane? What do you think it is?
I don't know what it is. That's what we're establishing right now.
How can level be horizontal? How can the water level establish a horizontal plane of reference on
because
a constant curvature?
Because locally level is horizontal. Because you're only dealing with local measurements. You're not dealing with large-scale observations, like reciprocal zenith angles that disprove all of that nonsense.
Have you got you don't have intersecting horizontals. That's just ridiculous. I don't think you know what reciprocal zenith angles is. It's like a magic word to you that wizards use. It doesn't mean anything, and it definitely does not mean that horizontals intersect.
Right, since I don't know what it is, why don't you tell us what it is, expert? Tell us what reciprocal zenith angles are.
Well,
tell us why they're not parallel.
Reciprocal means taken from both sides. So that means two or a position that is sighted backwards and forwards from the same one done. It's usually done over distance because you can't put anything in the middle. And it's done to eliminate any error because you have to sight over a large distance to end up with a what do you call it, a mean, to try and get as close to the horizontal as you possibly get. Reciprocal leveling is what it's called. Yeah.
Right, and on a flat Earth, all verticals would be parallel with each other, and all horizontals would also be parallel with each other. But based on this observation, we notice that vertical angles are not parallel. So, what is your conclusion based on this? What do you have to say about that?
Who's told you that?
Surveyors.
Vertical and horizontal are always perpendicular. They're both right lines forming a right angle, and anywhere along that horizontal you could drop another plumb line, another vertical, and it would be perpendicular to the horizontal. Horizontal just don't intersect in reality, Babs.
Yeah, locally, but when we compare two verticals with each other, we notice that they're not parallel. And why is that?
What do you mean locally? How local is a horizontal line to you?
Because the data that you're extrapolating is only from local observations. You're saying that because locally level appears to be horizontal, that applies to the entire Earth. When you haven't done large scale observations to confirm that, you're only working with local observations.
How many have you ever done any calculations that for a measurement of curvature that some other guys require?
No.
Done any of that calculations or anything? And you've not. No. You said you've not worked with the level.
No.
Ever? No. And you've never done any calculations, so you're not good at maths. Have you ever done any geometry?
Well, you're trying to discredit everything that I've said, but until you address the points that I brought up, this is not going to work.
Oh well, there's a thing in the debate chat box.
You're trying to call me out as being incompetent for not being able to do geometry or math.
No, I didn't say
Either
that.
way,
All.
I've still brought up points that you've not directly addressed. I've still brought up several points that you haven't addressed directly. So could you address those points rather than personally attacking me?
But I just asked you if you'd ever done anything.
Why does it matter if I've done any of that?
Because I was about to tell you. Right? I need to know how much you know in order that how much I need to tell you.
Right. So I need to have physically done.
No, you just need. You need to just keep quiet for a second and then let me explain. And you
go
might,
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now in the debate chat box, can you see it? It says baller local curve calculations. Can you see that?
No, I don't see that.
It says
I see now.
Individual 100 meter unsighted water level. Right, because that's like individual 100 meter tubes filled with water, and there's 16 of them next to each other. So 1,600 meters a mile, if you will, 9 meters short. So we've got that over a mile. It's like Slice Barkane's got this, right? So if you're standing at the very beginning obviously on a model, the water level at each one, 2, 3, all the way, have a different drop value. You have to calculate it. So that's why it's a calculated mine measurement drop of each individual water level from the start position. Right? So over the first 100 meters, if you have a model, right? Because you're talking local, aren't you? Local horizontal distance. Yeah. Well, they say that water level, you said it was a horizontal. They say over 100 meters, it drops 0.78 of a millimeter from where you are. Drops away from you. I'd say that's a bit silly because that's like flowing water, isn't it? Water.
So what have you done? Level. What have you done to disprove any of that?
And then after the second 100 meters, it drops 3.1 millimeters. Right. And then after the third, it gets to 7.1. It gets a bit bigger. And when at the fourth, it gets to 12.6 millimeters, like drop.
That's a point that I was getting at. Why is the drop happening in the first place?
Because they've calculated it. They've got a model and they're standing on top of a ball. Right? And it drops away from them.
That's not true. They haven't calculated it. They've observed it.
Nobody's observed this. You don't drop. You don't observe water dropping, or if you do, you call it a river, right? That's called flowing water.
Okay, so when geodetic surveyors or planar surveyors measure the Earth, what are they doing exactly? Do they not know what they're doing?
You don't want a lesson, do you?
No, I mean, I'm trying to get to the bottom of
They measure a horizontal plane, and from that horizontal plane, they take measurements to the land, right? And they measure an elevation change in the vertical.
So right? Why is the elevation change happening? You're saying that they're measuring
trigonometry to triangulate their positions.
You wouldn't expect an elevation change of that nature to happen consistently on a planar surface. So why is it happening in the first place?
There's mountains. You know what elevation is? You know, when you look at a map and it says elevation, do you know what that is?
Yeah, but I'm talking about observations done over bodies of water.
I'm just talking about the actual measurements.
There wouldn't be any elevation changes on a body of water on a planar surface.
No, there isn't. That's why it's a horizontal plane, right?
Then why do we see things dropping? Why do we think
there's no elevation changes on a water level? That's what it does. It establishes a horizontal. It makes a level.
Why do we see things on bodies of water being obstructed by the horizon? If what you're saying is true, why does that happen?
It doesn't happen, does it?
So you're lying then?
What I'm lying about the horizon being parallel to the horizontal? Or horizontals being... What is it you think I'm lying about, Babs?
By saying that you're ignoring all of the dozens of observations that we have been presented with that show boats being cut off by the horizon? We've seen that before. So why is that happening?
Effects. I got a good one of myself.
What is a
really good one
effect?
where the sun goes down and then it comes up again as well into a band.
Well, we could talk about that as well, but I'm willing to bet that you don't even understand how refraction works. So you're just gonna wrap this all up as optical effects.
What was the bet? Where was the bet?
I'm willing to bet that you don't understand how refraction works. Could you explain to me how refraction works?
How refraction works? But what are we talking about? We talking about geometry, or are you swapping it now to refraction?
Well, you're the one that brought up optical effects, and that involves refraction. So if we're going to talk about
I've got a P1000, right? My son's got a P1000.
I want to see what your level of understanding is of optical effects. So could you tell me how refraction works then? Let's talk about that. And I'm willing to bet, just like every other flat earther, that you have no idea how refraction works. But go ahead. Entertain us. Tell us how refraction works.
Babs, I am not a flat earther. Okay?
So why are you claiming that level is horizontal then? Why are you making flat earth?
It's just reality, Babs. Level is you even said level is horizontal. You agreed.
Right, so we don't live on a flat earth. So what do we live on, Bev? What are we on right now? Reality.
Right? We're just in reality.
That's what I'm asking you. What reality are we in right now? Are we living
the same reality?
Or are we living on a globe?
Calling it right line reality then. How about that? Sounds quite good, that. Shout out Cleary.
Right line reality. But I like how you danced away from the question that I asked you before, which is, could you please explain to me how refraction works?
I haven't got a clue.
You have no clue.
I don't even know what refraction is. It's just a word, isn't it?
So you have no clue.
Please explain to me
how refraction works. But
please explain to me, what do you mean by refraction?
Yeah, this is typical of most flat earthers. You have no clue how refraction works, but you're willing to invoke optical effects.
Please just give me an idea, and I might have a clue. Go on, give us an idea.
You have no idea,
please.
You have no idea how refraction works, but you're willing to invoke optical effects to explain why things get obstructed by the horizon.
I said no. I didn't say obstruction. I said my son has took a really good picture of the sun, probably one of the best Fata Morgana sunsets on the internet. I don't think there's any better ones. We were really lucky to see it. Right now, it was a freak of nature. So that's what I was explaining to you. Right? Really weird things happen when you look at them in the distance, especially with P1000s, P900s, because they're really good cameras. You don't normally get to see that stuff.
Right, and also, really weird things happen when you don't understand the information that you're trying to interpret. But since I brought up the point of refraction, I'm going to go ahead and explain that to you. You admitted that you don't know how it works. I'm going to explain that to you, right? So light bends towards a denser medium. So if you consider our atmosphere, the densest part of the atmosphere is at sea level. And how refraction works is that
denser air.
Yeah.
What do you mean by denser air?
I mean more particles of air within a given volume.
Particles.
Yeah.
Like
really, is this the first time you're hearing this? Are you going to pretend?
I don't think of air as balls. No.
Well, when did I mention that air was balls? When did I say that?
Particles. What's a particle to you then? Please explain a particle. I might be.
So a particle is a ball to you?
I don't know. That's what I imagine. What is a particle, please, Babs?
Well, there's a hierarchy within substances, and a particle would be a smaller part that comprises something that's made up of mass. It doesn't necessarily have to be circular, because you're trying to make this look ridiculous, just like Nathan Opie does. You're trying to make it seem like gas is bouncy balls in a fish tank. You want to talk about gas being bouncy balls?
No, I don't think of gas like that. I'm just trying to get you to explain. Gas is a gas. It's just a different form, isn't it?
Right.
So
Well,
how does it?
we're deviating. We're deviating away from the point that I made, which is light bends towards the denser medium. That's how refraction works.
Okay, so what's the denser
if it is
medium
denser,
like the medium of the water?
it's relative to the medium that we're talking about, and in this case, we're talking about the medium of the atmosphere, which is denser at sea level than it is at higher
The water
altitude.
is denser than that, though, isn't it?
But are we looking through water, or are we looking
No,
through the
we
atmosphere?
are. But you said the light bends towards the denser medium. Well, the water's the denser medium, much denser than air. So,
But are
would
we
the light
looking
bend
through? Are we looking
towards
through the
that
water?
denser
Or
medium?
are we looking through the water, or are we looking through the atmosphere? What are we looking at in this context?
We're just looking through air. That's what I do, anyway.
Exactly. So let's talk about the air because that's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with water.
Okay.
Right. So light bends towards the denser medium.
So you saying that the air is denser at the bottom? Please explain what you mean by that.
I just explained it to you, but you want to keep constantly interrupting me because you don't want this point to come to a conclusion because you know where this is going. So you're trying to prevent.
Trying to explain why there being more particles.
Everybody can see what you're doing right now. You're trying to prevent this point from coming to conclusion because you know what the conclusion of this is going to be.
Loads of people will be keen to hear about what.
So why do you keep talking over me then? If loads of people want to know what I have to say about this, why do you keep interrupting me then?
Because you just keep saying
finish what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get you to explain what the denser medium is in air.
I just did.
How does air get denser?
But your dumbass doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying right now.
Okay.
Which is
it denser at the bottom then, the air?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you think the light bends towards that denser medium.
It's not that I think that it is. This can be demonstrated and proven to you right now. If you take a barometer, the pressure at sea level is greater than at higher altitudes, which proves that there's more mass at sea level and there is at different
Isn't that just the little bit of air at the top expanding?
No. You're going to need to explain what you mean by that.
Well, barometer. Are we talking a mercury barometer? Because you did talk about pressure at sea level.
It could be a mercury or aneroid barometer. You're still going to get the same results. That there's more pressure at sea level than at higher altitudes.
Right. What do you mean by pressure? Because I would say that the water level, right, establishes a zero pressure state. So the air above that, is just it's air, right? It has no weight.
Air has no weight.
Absolutely, it's air. It doesn't have weight. You can't.
So air molecules are not made up of matter.
Molecules again. It's air. It's a gas. What do you mean molecules?
Everything made of everything that we can see in our reality is made up of matter, which has mass. And for you to deny that is to go against reality. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to go against reality?
It's all I can see. I can't go against what I can't see. So I can see air, but I can't see any little bouncy balls in it.
No.
You can't weigh it, can you?
No, because you're trying to limit your understanding to what you can perceive with your senses, which is ridiculous. You need to use tools in order to perceive certain things. I can't see molecules without using a microscope. So you're trying to say that we should be able to see molecules with our naked eyes in order to substantiate this claim is ridiculous.
Well, Babs, I'm actually curious as to how Bev can actually see air. He'd be the first person to ever do so.
Why are you jumping in, bro? Let him go. Let him have at it. Shut the fuck up.
Well, the thing is that Bev is just trying to obfuscate all of the points that I'm making because he clearly understands where I'm going with it. So he's just trying to stall this for as long as he can.
Well, I would have to say I'm with Nathan Oakley. Gas go down, go boom boom doesn't happen. That's
so you're Nathan Oakley, even though you denied agreeing with any of his rhetoric the last time I spoke to you. But now you're going to say that you're with everything.
What do you mean?
You're going to agree with a dude that sits in an apartment all day, grifting for money on the internet. Someone that has never opened a physics.
Babs, please don't make it personal with somebody who isn't here. Please don't do that. Right?
Well,
Let's keep this on. Let's keep this on.
That don't even have a basic understanding of science. Then yeah, I'm going to call you out on that.
You had light bending to a more dense medium of air, and I don't know how you measure the density of air. I would just say it's just a different volume, right? It changes volume as it moves in a vertical height, right? That's the way it works.
Why is there more pressure at sea level than there is at higher?
What do you mean by pressure, Babs?
I mean the force that is exerted by the weight of the atmosphere. Why is it greater at sea level?
It doesn't weigh anything, does it? It doesn't weigh anything.
Really, gas doesn't weigh anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just gonna go by Nathan's playbook and
no,
say
I'm gonna say I've done this for myself, Babs. Definitely.
What have you done to substantiate this?
Working out how a barometer works.
No, what have you done to substantiate that gases don't have weight?
I've worked out where your 14.7 pounds per square inch.
Okay, but can you show any practical examples where you've done this though, or are you just going to use rhetoric? Because I want to see practical examples. If you can show me a practical example that gases don't have weight, I'd be willing to accept that. Because I can show you that. I can show you right now. I can give you a practical experiment that I personally did myself that demonstrates that gases have weight.
Well, simple question before you do. Sorry, a very quick one before he does. Why does an empty CO2 container weigh less than a full CO2 container?
Because it is that highly pressurized, liquidized gas.
And you open it, it comes out as gas.
Yeah, that's what gas is.
Yeah, so it's full of gas inside.
But as a liquid.
Debatable on CO2 containers because the pressure in them isn't that high. The thickness of the cylinders isn't high.
Does it not liquidize though and get a cold frosting on the outside of it?
No, not on a CO2 container. Not on a CO2 container, no. And I know this because I have CO2 containers in the pub because they're what supplies the gas for the beer.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, I'll just leave that at that for that. I just heard that and thought I'd quickly pop in.
All right, so do we know how a barometer works, Babs? Do you know where your 14.7 pounds per square inch comes from?
Yeah, from barometer readings. And we do know how barometers work, yeah.
So you know it's a weight of mercury, not a weight of air, don't you?
Supported by air.
Yeah, we're measuring the displacement of mercury that can only be caused by the atmosphere. Because what else would cause the mercury to be displaced?
Okay, so it's a representation of water, but I mean we'll take the mercury, right? You get a big tube, don't you? And you fill it up with mercury. And it needs to be about a meter because you're going with density ratio to water, right? You want the most dense because you'd be looking at about 33 feet with water, but you're looking to try and represent that, aren't you? In a more usable thing, right? So you get a tube of mercury and you invert it upside down, right? You fill it up and you put it in a vat of mercury. What happens to the mercury in the tube?
We notice that it gets displaced at specific degrees depending on what altitude you're in.
Is there a gap at the top?
You mean
of the tube?
There would be, and that size would change. The size of that gap would change depending on your altitude.
Right. So what would be in that gap? Because you've just put mercury in a tube, haven't you? And you've inverted it, haven't you?
What do you mean? What would be in that gap?
Where did the gap come from? Because you just have mercury in a tube, didn't you?
There's a vacuum in the gap.
Ooh, a vacuum. Like what sort of a vacuum?
Like there's a negative pressure there.
Like a perfect vacuum with nothing there.
No, it's not perfect.
Well, what is there then?
Mercury
Negative pressure.
But why does that matter? Why does it matter
Because
what's
I'm
in
just
there?
trying to establish, because you get
You already know the answer to the questions you're asking. You just have a retarded You have a.
I know. I was
retarded,
just trying to ask, right? Because
you
you
move. Hang on. You hang on.
Who are you?
Hang on. You just have a made up science to explain why it's there.
Lewis, they were doing good. Why are you butting in, bro?
See, that's subjective.
This is this is a bit embarrassing, right?
It is.
Okay,
Bev.
so-
Would you like to
Yeah.
continue?
What's embarrassing is also subjective.
Okay.
You're looking
Me
really
as
bad,
Babs.
Bev.
Are you tapping out, Babs, or are you all right with all of
Why would
these?
you
lot?
tap out? You
I'm
suck,
still here.
Bev.
I'm just letting everybody else talk. I'm still
Okay.
here.
All right.
In the same vein that Babs was going in, I posted a video showing that air has weight.
Brilliant. Okay. So we're just establishing now how we establish that.
It's 1 minute and 30 seconds long. If you have the intellectual honesty to watch it.
So what we do is we invert this tube of mercury, and it comes up with whatever's left in the tube.
So earlier you said air doesn't have any weight.
Yo, Bev was mid-sentence.
Not
Why
bad.
why did you interrupt him
Yeah.
mid-sentence, bitch?
Bitch, because what he's saying
Shut
is
the fuck
irrelevant.
up and let him finish. That was your cue to shut up.
No, Jeremy, it wasn't.
Wow, have you been told to come in, Louis, and spoil this?
Yeah. They're paying me the big bucks. Yeah.
Okay.
Lewis,
Why-
Actually,
why-
Bev,
chill out.
if you've been in this as long as I have, you would know that me and Lewis are friends. So Lewis is definitely
You
not.
asked him to come then.
No,
Here
he
I
did.
come to
Lewis
save the day. Hey, Babs.
Oh,
Thank you for
yeah.
calling me. I'm here.
Me
Thank
and
you for
Louis-
calling me, Babs. I'm here.
Yeah, Jose is backing me up too, but me and Lewis are not friends, so I definitely did not call him in here to support me.
Bev called me in. I'm here to
Nobody
save
called him in. Just let the two of them go for another 10 minutes. or
Yeah.
something.
Wow,
Can Babe
everybody's
answer any
spiraling out of
questions?
control.
Babe like
Wow.
all the answers, but like answering no questions. Babe, can you answer any questions?
Is this the
Thanks.
big troll team?
Well, that's what
Big troll
Bev,
team.
that's what Bev does, Jose. He just
All
asks a
trolls
bunch of
assemble.
questions and he never answers any questions ever.
How about pressure
Like,
sensors?
like
that
the Power
use
Rangers.
mercury?
It's over now, Babs.
amazing.
Bev.
Yeah.
And then he
no,
flip it to the
obvious.
drama, to the
Message
personal
to
thing.
us.
Who's talking? Why are you asking? Oh my God, look who's
How
here.
did you?
He
How
gotta
did
flip
you
it to
do
the
with
drama,
your
100%.
measurements?
it's
How many
only
people
one
give you
dimension. The
your
one dimension he has
sticks?
is level is
This-
horizontal, and then the rest
This
is drama.
is ridiculous
How
compared
many
to
stick
what
picks
was
did you
going
get,
on.
Jose?
Agreed.
As
Agreed.
bad
I
as
think we should
Bev's
back to the
the
Babs
Nation
is
was.
you're getting tapped
is
out,
10
Babs. You
times
did
fucking
really
worse.
poorly there.
8,000 people talking over each other. This is shit. Just everybody calm down for a second. Babs and Bev, would the two of you like to continue one-on-one for a little while?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Curve. Let's carry on, Bev. So how about you answer the questions that I asked you? Instead of all of this obfuscation that you've been doing, can we just carry on with the questions that I asked you?
Go on, can you remember what it was? Or are we done with the weight of air? We're finished with that now, have we?
Well, the weight of air was just an obfuscation because initially what we were discussing is refraction and how refraction works in the
I
atmosphere.
told you, I don't. It's looking at shit. I don't really do that. I take actual measurements of reality, right?
Right. So if you don't have a full understanding of what is involved in that particular topic of optics, why do you feel that you can make a conclusion based on such a poor understanding of the subject? How can you come up to the conclusions that you're coming with if you don't even understand the basics of the topic?
A water level is a practical tool. It doesn't require any optics, right? It's an actual real life tool.
Right, I understand that, but my question was, why do we see things being obstructed over bodies of water? If we actually do live on a planar surface, why does that happen? And you said that it was an optical effect.
I said
and
it didn't
what is involved
happen
with it?
because the water level was a horizontal plane, which you agreed with. And if it is a horizontal plane, which you agree with, it cannot obstruct anything, can it?
But we see contradictions to that. We see boats being obstructed by the water horizon. So why does that happen?
I don't know. There's. Have you heard of waves?
A wave. Okay. Yeah. You could argue that. I've heard anti-touch showing, but then you're gonna have to go into a little bit more detail than that.
What? Like what?
You're going to have to explain how that works.
Just said it's optics, right? Because it's obviously nothing obstructing it with the water, because the water level establishes a horizontal plane, and a horizontal plane doesn't hump, does it? There's no drop and there's no hump in a horizontal plane.
It doesn't, but we see contradictions to that. We see things being obstructed by the water horizon.
Must be optical, mustn't it? Must be.
It's optical, right?
Yep.
And in fact, it's a good thing that we're talking now, because there's something that before Emma booted me off of your server because she didn't like what I was talking about.
You didn't get booted.
I did get booted. I got kicked. I didn't get banned, but I got kicked because she didn't like talking about. But we can talk about
what was it you were talking about? What was it you were talking about, Babs?
I was talking about Rob Kin, who was slagging me off in Ranties, who had been doing that for quite some time, but Emma chose to take
you off.
You guys done with the boats? The boats is an interesting one. I didn't think you were done with the how boats disappear from the bottom up.
He was personally slagging me off. He was personally slagging me off in Ranty server. In fact, Mark Taylor was the one that told me that. He came and told me that Rob Kin was slagging me off in Ranty server.
If Mark Taylor told you,
I had every reason to say what I did about him, but Emma chose to take his side because Emma is biased. But we're not going to talk about that right now because we have something more pressing to discuss, which is optical effects. So if you can see the chat, I've just posted this citation right there that defines what physical is. So there are two definitions that you're going to find if you Google the word physical. One of them is relating to the body as opposed to the mind. Another is relating to things perceived through the senses as opposed to the mind, and things that are tangible or concrete. So Nathan Oakley likes to say this, that the horizon is not physical. But can't you see that that's a contradiction to this statement? Because as far as what physical is anything that is perceived by your senses. So we're perceiving
the horizon is basically a compressed zone.
That's it. It's time for everybody to jump in. I heard Lemon.
Go ahead. Just talk all over me. We're perceiving the horizon with our senses. So how is it not physical if we're perceiving it?
It's not physical because there's a lot of visual information compressed in there. So if you're trying to get angles off of it with a theodolite, there's going to be a lot of angles that are going to be compressed.
Lemon, it wasn't your cue. That wasn't
predicted, but I mean that was definitely predicted.
The theodolites are going to be inaccurate measurements.
See, that's what Lemon did. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Lemon. You spoke and everybody spoke.
You're measuring basically you're measuring to a compressed zone with a lot of angles.
He said one-on-one. Shut the fuck up.
One-on-one? They've been going for a while.
What Lemon seems to realize is that he's in complete contradiction by saying that. Because by you saying that the horizon is not physical, that means that you wouldn't be able to perceive it with your senses. Because physical means anything that can be perceived with your senses.
The perception is accurate because there's a lot of information packed into that area, which is making the angles drawn from that area inaccurate. That's why you can't use a theodolite like that increasingly over long distances. That's the point.
Can you define physical for us, Lemonberg? Define physical.
Physical just means that you can touch it. So you can touch the ground, but it's not going to be at the level of the eyes where it appears to be. It's going to be a compressed zone of visual information, an image that is formed in the brain and the eye and off of the lens. It does not match what it looks like.
No, that's not. That's a very limited understanding of what physical is. What physical is relating to things perceived through the senses as opposed to the mind. So we are perceiving
say that the train tracks rise up to the level of the eyes.
Lemon, you interrupted. That's a sign. That's a sign of you being afraid.
Train tracks, but it's not an accurate representation of reality.
You're afraid, Lemon, to listen to what he has to say. That's why you interrupt.
Lemon, everything that we see visually is
scared, right?
Our
but not everything
like
is at the level of the
You're
eye.
scared
where
of
it appears that's what
everybody
they mean.
every time. You're scared every time.
Everything that we see visually is being perceived by our senses, which makes it physical. So saying that the horizon is not physical is absolute nonsense.
It means it's not actually ramping up toward the level of the eyes. That is simply a mental image based off of the lens, the diffraction limit, and the eye, that it does not actually fully match what is happening in reality. It's not actually ramping.
But why are you ignoring the actual definition of physical?
Because that doesn't help us get the right information. That doesn't help guide us in the right direction. You're dealing with compressed visual information that is scrunching up toward the level of the eyes. That is all.
Can I ask one question?
That means that
Can I ask one question, Babs? One question, Babs, please.
You're interrupting him now. First was Lemon monologue.
A rainbow?
Now Babs is going to monologue behind him. That's scattered going in top of it.
Can you see a rainbow, Babs?
Jose, they don't want me to. They don't want me to get to the end of my points because I'm destroying them right now.
Motherfuckers, don't fucking
you're trying to use a theodolite to measure it, Babs, but you're measuring a zone with a lot of visual information packed in there, a lot of angles that are not being counted. So the theodolites become trash and unusable because they're not dealing with the visual information that is packed into the horizon that is not being measured by the instrument. That's a problem. That's why you're getting off zenith angles. Because there's a lot of visual information that the theodolite is not accounting for because it's smushed into a horizon line.
Well, that's besides the point, Lemon Bird. The point that I was making is that anything that we interpret with our senses is physical.
That's not true. What about a mirage?
Can you see a rainbow, Babs?
They are so threatened, Babs.
A rainbow is physical because they are completely threatened, Jose. That's why they're not even letting me talk right now. You can't rainbow is physical because you can perceive it with your senses. And
sure, you can perceive it, but it's not actually where it looks like it's being perceived. If you look at a mirror and a reflection, if you go to that mirror, all you're going to see is the physical mirror, not the reflection. You're going to need to go somewhere else to get the source of the reflection, the actual physical thing. So basically, we have a representation visually that is not matching physical reality, where we'd like to go toward the level of the eyes to get this hump of Earth curvature or whatever. That's what they mean.
So what are you using to interpret what the horizon is? Are you not using your to do that?
You are using your eyes, but if you zoom in, you see all the visual information that's packed in there, and you see how inaccurate your representation to yourself of the horizon is.
So you're agreeing with me then? Anything that can be your senses is physical. You're agreeing with that point. You
not in the sense that it's there where you look at it. It may be a reflection. It may be a representation that's a little off. But on that level, it would be physical-ish, sure. But it's not actually ramping up toward the level of the eyes.
And that is not the point that I'm making. I'm not making the point that the horizon appears to be at different positions because of the atmosphere. That is not the point that I'm making.
The atmosphere and the diffraction limit and the proximity to the flat surface.
Hold on, goddammit. The point that I'm making is that anything that is perceived with your senses is physical. So for you to say that the horizon is not physical is ludicrous because you're perceiving it with your senses. So if you're going to parrot Nathan bullshit and say that the horizon is not physical, at least stop and think about the definitions that you're using. Because you're just going to look stupid at the end of the day. If you're saying things that don't make sense, you're only going to look dumb.
Can I ask him something quick? Is light physical?
Yes, because you perceive it with your senses.
I'm asking the other one. Is light physical? Lemon. He doesn't want to answer that one, no?
I answered it for you. Yes, it is physical because you perceive it with your senses.
It's a physical flat plane that appears deceptively to rise up toward the level of the eyes and obstruct what's beyond.
It's flat, but it looks round.
Physical, Lemon.
It doesn't even look round. It looks flat. It looks like a flat plane rising up toward the level of the eyes. It doesn't even have curvature to it unless you add a curving.
Are we done here, Babs? Are you done?
We're not done. No, we're definitely not done.
Right, well, what are we doing now then?
He's ignoring the question about is light physical.
He said it is physical. He thinks rainbows are physical. Jose also thinks rainbows are physical. Yeah, I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Can you define physical for us, Bev?
Is not physical. That's what I'll do. I'll tell you that.
What does not physical mean?
A rainbow. Imagine a rainbow, right? You not being able to touch it and hug it and feel it.
Okay, so you're just demonstrating what the limits of your vocabulary is, because you seem to think that physical is only something that you can touch, but I demonstrated using citations that that's not true. Physical is something that's perceived with your senses, which is more than touch. You have 5 senses. So what are you talking about?
I'm just saying a rainbow is
you
not
mentioned my name, bro.
physical.
You mentioned my name.
Yeah.
It's part of the natural. It's part of the natural and physical world, not supernatural phenomenon.
Exactly. So if you're going to say that it is not physical, that means that it would not be perceived by the human senses.
It's not tangible.
Which is not true.
Okay, not tangible
yeah,
with your touch senses. Not tangible with your hands, but there are other senses you can feel it, bro.
Now that statement makes a little bit more sense. If you say that it's not tangible, that makes a little bit more sense.
That's what it says.
No, but you're saying that it's not.
You're
saying that it's not physical. You're saying that it's not physical.
Yeah,
and that's not
that's part of the definition that you gave us.
Physical is not the only definition of tangible. Tangible is not the only definition of physical.
Rainbows are not physical.
So rainbows are not tangible. They are physical.
They're not physical.
Yes, they are. Is it the same shit like you say, level and horizontal, the same garbage that you use? Now physical and tangible is the same both, right?
Let's just agree to disagree, right? I'm not going to change my mind. Light and rainbows are not physical. That's it.
How many senses?
Like straight lines don't curve.
It depends on your frame of reference. How many senses do we have, Bev? Do we only have the sense of touch? Is that the only sense that humans have? Or can we see things? Can we hear things?
I can smell.
Yeah, so we have more than one way of interpreting the world around us.
Yeah, but it's got to be tangible. It's concrete, right?
Why does it only have to be something that is
because that's
tangible?
What physical means.
No, that's not what physical means.
To me, it is.
Stars are physical. We see them, and they're I don't know how far away. They could be 1,000 miles away. They could be trillions of miles away, but they are physical, and we only see it a point in the sky.
You feel you own this argument.
They are physical. Yeah, stars are physical.
Yeah.
Rainbows are physical. Stars are physical.
Yeah.
Well, we're not only interested in what you think, because this isn't a solipsism debate. We care about what is objectively true for everybody, not just you. So you're trying to use definitions that are only specific to what you agree with, and that's ridiculous. You have to work with what is objective with everybody.
Yeah, well, this would be a debate. This is how we do debates, right? It's up to anybody listening.
Well, you don't even seem to know what a debate is, because I debated you on Jose's at a debate. So what is a debate then? Can you define what a debate is?
Are you willing to turn this into a debate? Would you like to make a debate at some other point in time, or is this just an obfuscation again?
Why can't he answer a simple question?
This is me pointing out your incompetence. This is not a debate. This is just me pointing out how incompetent you are and how little understanding you have of the subject matter.
If you want to structure a debate, we will do that at some other point in time, right?
We can do it right now.
No, nobody wants to listen to you try and structure a debate.
So who wants to listen to you lie about everything, pretty much? Does anybody want to listen to that?
What accusation was that?
Not even entertaining anymore.
We've already been
getting trolled. Cosmo's here as well.
For like hours now.
Yeah, watching you.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. We've been through it.
How many questions does Bab get to ask?
They've already been through this. They already know what to expect.
Babs, you want to answer a couple of questions?
What questions?
You think
go ahead and ask
questions for you.
Go ahead and ask
literally
me a question and I'll answer.
blank
Go ahead.
what a debate is, and he can't even answer the fucking question there, Dave.
No, but I don't even know what the questions are.
Come on, my dude.
What are the questions that I'm being asked?
Because you haven't shut up.
Come on, my
Wow,
dude.
damn, Rakia, for real.
All right, fat ass. What are the questions you want to ask me? Go ahead.
No, I didn't say I wanted to ask questions. I said maybe Bev would like to
Why
ask
the
you a
fuck are you
couple
even in
questions.
this conversation, you dumb fat ass?
Because you mentioned my name, right? Everybody seems to be
Nobody
jumping
mentioned
in,
your
right?
name. No one gives a fuck.
Jorge's cheerleading. Yes, you did. You said
fat
Rocky.
dumbass.
I don't want Rakia jumping in and cheerlead. I was quiet for an hour.
Exactly,
Now
because
your
I didn't want you
cheerleader,
butting in
your
like you are right
cheerleader
now.
Jorge
Stop
is here for
hitting
you.
with your bullshit.
Maybe you should let Bev ask you a couple questions if he wants to.
Maybe you need to stuff your face with McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I might
Why
do
don't
that.
you do
That's all you
fat
got
ass?
is personal attacks, right?
Personal attacks. Yeah, that's good.
Just personal attacks. So do
Can
you
I ask
want
you that? Why do you resort to personal
attack.
attacks?
You ordered
Is
a
it
whole
because you've got
fucking
no argument?
I like how he's
12
like,
boxes of
I
nuggets at
behaved myself
McDonald's.
for an hour, and now I'm jumping in
pizzas,
like a
you
retard.
moron. They're little bitty round half-inch nuggets, 12 of them. Not 12 boxes as usual. You're wrong. You're a moron.
Oh, you're still a fat ass anyway, so you need to hop
Yeah,
on.
you're still wrong.
They were little baby nuggets, guys.
You're still
Come on,
wrong.
guys. They're just tiny
Well,
nuggets.
you're still a fat ass, so you still need to hop on a treadmill.
Yeah, okay, man. More personal attacks where you were wrong even.
I was at a personal
Do
attack.
you have anything else? You called me a fat ass.
Because you are a fat ass.
No, I'm not. You want to come meet? I will show you every ounce. Every ounce. All your
Oh,
attacks on
he's so
me.
threatened. He's trying to fight him.
No, I think it's ridiculous that people assume things.
What am I gonna get from beating
Babs,
up
you're
a
gonna go fight
55-year-old
Rakia?
You're
man?
gonna be wrong again.
That's pathetic. I'm
you-
not gonna get
Now,
any.
do you
gonna
want
fight him?
to quit the personal attacks and field a couple of questions from Bev, maybe?
What are the questions? And I'm still trying to figure that out. What are the questions? Because
You haven't shut up long enough to let him ask you anything.
All right, I'm gonna shut up right now. Go ahead, ask me whatever you want. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bev. If you have any questions for him, now would be the time.
Sweet. So, what's the obsession that you
we have a
with
super
us,
chat.
Babs?
Who wants to read out the super chat?
Oh, there we go.
Anybody want to read the super chat?
Immediate interruption.
I'm not obsessed
Dave,
with
that's
you.
how
You're
the
the one that's
server
obsessed
works,
with me, dude. You're in here for 10 hours on Saturday, just waiting to talk to me.
That's
So
how
you're
the server
clearly
works.
the
We
one
read
that's
out
obsessed
super
with me.
chats, bro.
Everybody wanted me to ask me
Who
questions.
wants
There
to
was
read the super
loads
chat?
of questions.
This is
I wanna
Yen
read
Panda
it.
server. He got a YouTube channel.
I'm
People
gonna read it.
support
All
him.
right.
Yeah.
$4.99 from Twit. Bev is a master of deflection. I haven't heard him definitively answer one single question. Babs is doing very well maintaining his cool. Thank you, Twit. $4.99 right into Gem Panda's pocket. Thanks so much. All right. Go ahead, Bev.
Shout out to Twitwit. She's one of the yeah, she's been good to me. Shout out to Twitwit.
Yeah, shout out
Bev,
Twit.
please continue
Nicely
with your
done.
question.
I like doing that. So, Abs, why are you so obsessed that you want to chase me around to get a debate that isn't a debate to just ask me loads of questions? Like 10 hours I fielded in here, people asking me questions the other day. And now you want to get me here to ask me questions. Why do you want to ask me questions? What is it about me that makes people want to ask questions? What is it about?
Well, first of all, I'm not I'm not obsessed with you. Like I said, you're the one that was in here for 10 hours on Saturday just looking to talk to me. And the reason that
I
I'm
wasn't
talking
waiting.
to you is
No,
because
I
I
was
want to clear
waiting
up
to
my
make
name.
sure
'cause-
everybody knew that you were a chicken bitch and you kept running.
Well, the thing is that you guys say that I'm a troll and I'm just acting like I'm bad shit. And the truth is you're just stupid and I'm just using you for practice because you're a punching bag.
Okay, off you go. So that's why you're obsessed then. You want to come and beat me up.
So is that the only question you had?
Well, it's
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
the
pretty
rest of it's
funny-
pretty
funny that that's
self-evident.
the only
It will
question that
explain
I had.
how he's got nothing.
It's funny that that's the only question that he's had. We've been talking the whole time and that's the only question.
Yeah, I don't like Babs. I like whatever you do is up to you. I don't know who you are, apart from you thinking that you're a flat Earth messiah, which I find highly amusing, seeing as you don't seem to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, your savior has time for a few more questions.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the next question?
I've got no more questions for you, Babs. No more questions.
Babs, he only had drama, dude. He only had a drama question.
Yeah,
he was
he only
here
had
for
a
10
drama.
hours.
Exactly.
Why are you running away from debates? You didn't get actually banned from MS Server.
Okay, then
there's no actual stuff.
That's all he deals with. He just deals with the meta. He just deals with the drama.
I got a quick question for that.
What do you think would be the best thing you could teach me
come in here cheerleading
about the
for him?
flat
And
Earth?
all he's got. He doesn't even have any valid.
I was quiet for an hour. I didn't cheerlead.
I was a
wanted
good
to
boy for an
expose
hour,
you.
and now I'm yelling.
So what do you have to
asked
say
you-
about that?
He
Ricky? What do you have
asked
to
you
say
what?
about all
You
of
won't
the-
let me talk. You won't let me talk.
Okay,
he
go
asked
ahead.
you one question. I don't need your permission. Just shut up. He asked you one question, and your answer was, "I'm just using you for practice. I'm just being a troll." That was your answer.
I'm just using
We
him for practice.
exposed you.
He's my
He
punching bag.
exposed you with one question. It is ridiculous that everyone in here is just a troll. They don't do anything else.
Really, and Rakia is not. Rakia
You're
is not a
following
troll,
him
right?
around. You're asking him a million questions because you need practice.
And you're not a troll, right? The guy
You
that
need-
sits in here all
you need
day,
practice?
lies
I'm
about
not
everything.
here all day.
You're not a troll.
I'm not here all day.
You're
You're
not
wrong
here
about
all
that
day. That's
again.
why I see you in
Really,
here
I'm
every
not.
single day when I'm
Really,
in here,
I'm
right?
not. I'm really not.
I'm a troll. I'm being called a troll by the guy that literally goes in here and lies about.
I expose trolls.
Isn't that ridiculous? But the
You were
great thing
exposed
is
in
that
one
everybody
question.
can see it, though.
See, I told you you couldn't let me talk. I told
above
you.
70
You said
can
go ahead. You said go ahead,
the
didn't
dumbasses
you?
that
I
don't
went
speak.
ahead, and now you're babbling on
But only
again.
the dumbasses that
He
don't
asked
speak
you
what's
one
going on. But the
question,
people
and
with
you
an
said
IQ above
you
70
followed him around so
You're
you
just
could
a troll.
get practice. That you would just get practice.
You're
Like,
just
that's
a
your
troll and a
answer.
Nathan Opie dick writer.
Practice
All
at
you do
what?
is ride
Trolling?
Opie's dick. All you do is suck Quantum Eraser's dick, and that's
I
all
don't
you
even
do.
go to. You're wrong
Your
again.
track record speaks for itself.
You're just projecting now. I haven't been to
pays
Quantum
money out of his
Eraser's
pocket,
channel in
right,
months.
right in the QE's pocket, man.
How
Really,
wrong are y'all?
What does QE's
Babs.
dick taste like?
Hey,
You
Babs.
can probably tell us
That's
that.
all
What
you
does
have,
Nathan
right?
Opie's dick taste
More
like?
lies
You can
and
tell
you
us
being
that, right?
wrong.
You've been on his dick for
I'll
years.
tell you what.
So you could probably give us the inside scoop on what that's like, right? You dumbass. You're the one that's always donating $100 to Nathan Opie. That's why he's still doing this shit. Because you're dumbass. You're the one that keeps. You're the one that keeps.
One second. I need to vouch. I need to vouch one thing over here.
Jose's jealous.
Rakia is a good man. He actually honors some things he say, and I always say that. Rakia say, Jose, I'm gonna give you $100 if this and that happen. If you find this, the video was found, and Rakia straight up, he gave me the $100, and he knows he honors his word, you know. So that,
Yeah, cheers, Jose. That was brilliant. That was well worth it. Probably about the best £100. Yeah, I didn't hear it first time.
Well,
I did hear it.
Do the,
Have you heard it?
You internet prostitutes can do the e-begging shit. You can go to YouTube and e-beg because all you dumpster divers need bread.
Have you heard the video?
Like, all these flat earthers are like webcam whores. Damn, they're soft. It's like, give me tokens.
Wow,
and
you're
I'll
doing
take
it.
my
Is this a bit of a
panties
rap?
off.
You've got a tune going in the background.
What are you talking about, man?
I thought were you trying to do a bit of a rap then or something?
No.
Oh.
I wasn't.
It sounded like you were.
No, I was just talking about how all you flat earthers are like webcam whores. Because all you do is like just e-beg for all you do is e-beg for super chats, like
You mean
internet.
like Jem?
Give me
Jem,
tokens. You're like, give me,
on this YouTube channel that you wanted me on, right? That, like begging webcam whore, like you have helped Gem Panda with this.
How have I helped Gem Panda?
I mean, I'm on break right now. Is this all we're fucking doing? Is this
Yeah.
Yeah, all you flat earthers are e-beggars. You're like soft. You're like,
all you. Who's that? All you.
That's the type of shit that you guys be on.
All you.
Babs just wanted it recorded on both sides. I think that's pretty fair, so that there's a neutral third party that's recording the conversation, so that Bev doesn't edit it.
It's gonna be recorded anyway. So I was just trying to do this the right way because I know
Are you recording it? Because Jem doesn't record this stuff.
You're recording this right now, and you're gonna make an edited video with all the cheerleaders to make me look as.
No, I'll just put it out all in one,
like
just for
done.
you.
Every single time I've talked to you, you've made a
I'll call
edited video of me
the destruction of the flat Earth Messiah. I'll call.
This is going live on YouTube.
Every single time I've talked to you, you've made an out of context video to make me look dumb as fuck. Because that's all you do. You just record people and take them out of context. And the good thing is that everybody can see that right now. Everybody is aware of what you're doing right now. So I'm not even concerned anymore.
There's no editing going on here, is there?
Be on here because people need to see the unedited version of this video.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I said. I will put this out unedited.
Really unedited?
Can you? Yeah, let's get now your best. What's your best?
Yeah,
flat
thank
Earth
God.
Earth Messiah. Come on, what can you teach me?
I should be asking you that because you're the one that's claiming that level is horizontal. So I should be asking you that. In fact, didn't you have a test that you were about to do that you've been talking about for 3 years right now? Why hasn't that happened yet? Why hasn't your test happened yet?
We're on lockdown.
You wanted to pretend that wasn't
COVID lockdown.
you even talked about.
You
it.
on
I
COVID
even
lockdown?
brought it up in the debate that I had.
Are you on
Moses'
COVID
show, on Moses'
lockdown
show.
right
You
now?
tried to pretend
So
I didn't know
are you
anything
not?
about that. Why don't we talk about it?
Are
Why
you
don't
on
we talk
COVID
about the test?
lockdown?
What?
Yeah.
Were you
wanna
on
talk
lockdown?
about the
Were you on
test?
lockdown
Yeah.
2 years ago?
Okay.
Were you on lockdown
Okay.
2 years ago?
All right, Babs.
That's
do
a
you want
good
to talk
excuse.
about the test?
How does the lockdown?
Do you want to
affect-
talk about the test?
How does the
I'm fine
lockdown
to talk
affect
about the
you
test.
doing tests?
If you want
Let's
to talk about the
that. How
test,
does lockdown?
okay.
How does lockdown prevent you from doing a test? Let's talk
Because-
about that.
Because I have to have my son with me. I'm not doing this test without my
Why
son.
do you have to have your son with you?
Because we're all in it together. It's try thinking.
So more
What?
lies and more excuses.
Where is your son that he can't
Family.
go outside and do this test?
You have absolutely no reason for not being able to do this
you're
right
concerned about my son there, Cosmo.
You've
What's
got-
up with
you've got
that?
where
absolutely no
is he?
reason
You
why
want him
you
to go
can't
out
do
and
this
do it
right
with
now,
you.
Bev? Why
He-
can't you do this right
he
now?
lives in a
Yeah,
different
what's preventing
place.
you, Bev?
He lives in a different place.
So just,
We are-
do the test.
COVID lockdown.
Just do the test on your own, and then when you can see your son, do it with him again.
Yeah, that would be good to see if it's repeatable. So there you go.
It's going to be repeatable. Yeah, we're going to go all
There's
over the
gonna be
place
a
doing it.
test. He's never going to do the test. He's just
You don't even
riding
know
on this
what the
wave
test
that he's on
is.
right now, just like Bob Nodell. All of you
Don't
guys
know
are
what
on a
the test
wave.
is.
You're trying to maintain the wave as long as you can. You've got all
Scared
these
of the
people,
test.
You've got all these people kissing your ass right
You
now,
don't
and you
even
want
know
to
what it is, and yet you're scared of it.
You're just like Bob Nodell. You know,
But Babs, we got to prepare people for the reception of the revelation.
Yo, Jeremy, this guy's just like Bob Nodell. You know how Bob Nodell show you those results just because it would make him look.
Yeah, surprise people for the
Scared
ether,
of
so they know how to
geometric
interpret the results.
proof.
Holding on to the results of his test because he wants to maintain the hierarchy that he has right now. All these people that kiss his ass, you think they'd really support him when they find out that
Babs,
he's
you have to get the groundswell first. You have to get the ether first. So
That's
people
why you
know how
got
to
to
interpret it.
never going to do the test. Just like Bob Nodell is never going to do the gyro.
As soon as you talk about my test, everyone jump in.
What's the lockdown restrictions that prevent you from doing your test? Can you cite them?
I cannot get to my son to get him.
You can't
here.
drive? Does he need to be let out of somewhere, or he can't travel, or what's going
Who's
on?
that? Is that Scott? Is that you, Scott?
What are the citations here?
Who is that? Who's talking now?
Dude, what does it matter who it is?
Because he's just jumping in on a
what are the
conversation with him,
restrictions?
because he's trying to find out about my son.
Bev, you
You were the
fucking
one asking
moron.
about his son.
What's going on?
You were the one.
Why are you asking about his family?
What
Oh my
quarantine
God.
restrictions prevent you from doing your test? Can you
Who
cite
is
them?
that?
You are such a moron.
Cosmo,
Which quarantine
why are
restrictions
you
prevent
concerned
from
about
performing
my
your test?
family, Cosmo?
Yeah, Cosmo, isn't it weird that he doesn't want to
You have
answer
no
that?
answer?
I
Isn't
asked
it
him
weird
the
that
same
y'all are
question
talking about
before.
another
What
man's son?
restrictions?
Oh,
Shut up, Rakia. What restrictions? are
No, don't
preventing
tell
you
me to
from
shut
doing
up. Isn't it weird that y'all are defending someone asking something about somebody's son?
Page and dumbass. Shut the fuck up.
Somebody's son. That's all you have is personal attacks.
Isn't it weird though, Cosmo?
Isn't it weird that y'all are talking about another man's son again?
What is preventing him? What is preventing him from doing the test? And he couldn't even answer.
We are on COVID lockdown.
There's absolutely no reason that he can't do this right now. He's just trying to maintain the hierarchy that he has right now.
If this is the best you've seriously got,
he's got all these dumbasses.
You don't even want to hear about the test. It's that painful for you. Anyone can come over and listen to it, but you know how threatened these people are about it.
Like Paige and Rakia
This
and
going
Merle.
out live.
So he wants to maintain that as long as he can. Because he knows when he does the test, he's going to be proven wrong. That's why he's never going to do it. He wants to maintain the hierarchy. He wants to maintain all his ass. Want to maintain Paige kissing your ass, kissing your ass, and Merle kissing your ass. Just like Bob Nodell. You want to keep that hierarchy going, don't you? Because if you do the test, you're going to be proven wrong. That's why you're never going to do it.
Okay, Babs, what do you think he's going to get wrong when he does the test?
He can't prove that level is horizontal large. He can't prove that. That's why he's never going to do this.
Yeah, this is a good excuse because there's no quarantine restrictions that prevent him from doing his test.
Cosmo, what are you?
Even if there was quarantine, how does that prevent him doing it by himself? It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah,
exactly.
This is just a really good
Cosmo, what's up?
To not do his
He wants
test.
to do it with his son. What's the problem with that?
Well, what are the quarantine restrictions preventing?
Do you know what the test is, Cosmo? Do you want to hear what the test?
No. I'm more
interested. Do you want to hear
in
the
knowing
geometric proof behind the
He's
test?
more interested in your personal business.
I know he wants to know about my son.
He's been
Do you know
talking
what?
about it for
because
2 years.
Cosmo's one of the ones that called me a child abuser. Didn't you, Cosmo?
Babs
has also said
all he wants.
It's horizontal.
He can talk
right?
about his test for 2 or 3 years. All I'm asking is why he hasn't done it yet. And
Because
he continues to run away from that question.
COVID lockdown. Have you asked Slice Barcane why he hasn't done it? Something to do with COVID as well. He's had all of the equipment for even longer, hasn't he?
He got money from y'all to get the equipment and hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Why are you badgering Bev?
Just get Sly to do it.
He refuses to answer the question.
He's answered it. You're not listening. You refuse to listen. As I get muted, everyone interrupts, but I get muted. You refuse to listen for his reasons.
Come on, buddy.
You refuse to. Hey, buddy. You refuse to listen as you interrupt me, and you're not getting muted.
That prevent you from doing the test.
He's doing the test for himself, buddy, not for you.
He hasn't provided any.
He'll do it when he's ready.
He can't do the test. The truth is, he has
When
not
he's
provided
ready,
any
he will do it.
viable reasons.
He hasn't asked for any money from y'all.
And of course, a liar.
Slide, who got money and didn't do the test.
Of course, a liar like Rakia would support him.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Rakia's a liar. He lies about everything.
Am I lying about Slash Barcane getting money from the community and not doing the test?
Control. If you can't see that at this point,
right. Trolls are speaking truth. Since when do trolls speak truth? Trolls lie about how many nuggets people eat and worry about how fat they are.
What truth are you speaking when every goddamn thing that comes out of your mouth is a lie, dude?
You're a fucking liar. That's all you.
You're a fucking liar. Everybody knows you're a liar.
Somebody muted Rakia.
And yeah, good. Whoever muted Rakia, thanks for doing that, because he doesn't deserve to be in this conversation. And that's going to be my rule from now on. If you're a dumbass, you don't get to talk to me. You know, you dumbasses think that you're on par with scientists and mathematicians just because you get to talk to them. Just because you talk to these guys doesn't mean
we're bottom of the barrel, right?
Your bullshit doesn't mean that you're
bottom
on
of the barrel, right?
Guys.
Human scum. I was muted again.
Like seriously, you don't know
tactic,
anything about math. You don't know anything about physics. You're a Cajun dumbass that's just been given a platform on the internet.
No physics to debunk the globe, though.
Another personal attack.
I mean, you just need to have a laser. That's it.
Just a fat Cajun dumbass that's been given a platform on the
internet. People have missed the fact that it's a flat plane for 500 years, so smart people get it wrong
okay,
too.
Levin, hang on. We've got another super chat from Ted Bundy. Has anyone checked on Bev's wife?
Why?
So you
another
don't need to be a
one.
genius.
Nice. This is mid-debate, yeah? That was, how much was that? £3. Nice.
That was $2.99. $2.99.
Yeah, she's fine. Thanks.
Why did you
No,
guys?
whoever
Why did you
did
guys
that
mute me?
is
What the
one
fuck,
sick
man?
son of
Because
a
all
bitch.
that's going to come out of you is a bunch of bilge.
Why the fuck
Yeah,
did I
this
get
is the
muted?
globe Earth
Not going to stop
defender
complaining about
tactics
flat
within
earthers.
debates.
Imagine spending $2
No, I'm gonna call liars out for being
to ask
liars,
a grown
Lemonbird.
man
You've
on
been
the
calling them
internet
out for the past 5 minutes.
I
Give
have
it a
every right
rest.
to call out
what
liars
kind of a
for being
loser
liars.
do you have to be to do
I have
that?
every right to do that.
Yeah, I think
Explain
this topic's been.
Lemonbird, and in fact, you know what? It's a good thing that Lemonbird is here right now because I had a question for Lemonbird that he couldn't answer. The last time you were on Brandon's show, I asked you a question that you couldn't answer. So I want to know what your answer is.
Lemon again.
For this
Set
right
up
now.
a debate with Lemon.
Is in here right now. Let's get the answer from Lemonbird, right?
Good one.
Why is there a pressure gradient in the atmosphere, Lemonbird?
Because we're under a firmament dome that has an electromagnetic medium of ether swirling within it that determines what goes up, down, and floats. That's what I would say.
If we were under a dome, wouldn't the pressure equalize?
No, it would not. The gas would spread until it reaches equilibrium at its perspective layer. It would go up, it would go down until it reaches its layer, then hover there.
Do you know anything about Gay-Lussac's law?
I think I've heard of it. What about it?
That means that under a fixed volume, the pressure would equalize.
Not in a dynamic system.
Wow.
What is a dynamic
system? And also, you have kinetic energy. You're implying that it has kinetic energy to fill any container.
That's
that spurious.
Babs, and you did a really bad job there.
After the kinetic energy runs out, it just settles to its perspective layer, probably because of electromagnetic frequency, vibrating it up, down, or floating to its perspective layer to organize the column.
Really? And how did I do a bad job,
gravity.
Bev, when you retards think that you live under a glass dome? How did I do it?
It looks like it was Parhelions and the Sun Dogs. And it looks like meteors or chips off the old dome, too.
Okay.
And we have elves and sprites.
Lemonbird, the atmosphere is homogeneous. It's evenly mixed. All of the compounds that you find at sea level are the same compounds you find at the top of Mount Everest. So why is there more
concentration? So that's not even accurate. That's not even accurate. There's less air up there and more pure ether.
So are the compounds?
Because there's less air up there and more pure ether, and the composition changes slightly.
But did you not hear what I said? I said that the compounds that you find at sea level are the same compounds you find at the top of Mount Everest. They're not different.
Not in the same proportion. The air gets evacuated up there, and you get pure and pure ether as you go higher and higher up, probably.
That's not true.
That's what I would go with.
The only difference is the concentration, but the composition of the atmosphere is still the same. The only difference is just the concentration of those gas molecules. So why is there more
helium
gas
goes up? So wouldn't you expect to find a helium layer up there as opposed to down here?
But we don't, though. So what are you talking about?
So why does helium go up then? What happens to it? It just disappears? What happens to the helium?
Because it's less dense than the surrounding atmosphere.
So what happens to it? Are you saying it goes off into space or hovers toward the top of the dome?
I don't think there's a dome, so it just goes into the available space above us.
Well, we have evidence that there's some sort of container.
Hold on, Lemonbird, you're deviating away from my point. Why is there more atmosphere at sea level than there is at higher altitudes? Shut up, Rakia.
That was a great answer, by the way.
Because it's going to its layer in the density column of the electromagnetic ether, the fluid in which everything is mixed, space itself, the fluid, just like with the water in the egg, that determines whether something goes up, down, or floats.
Yeah, but if that was the case, we would expect to find denser gases at sea level than we do at higher altitudes, and we don't. So what are you talking about, Lemonbird?
Gases act differently. Some go up, some go down. What are you talking about?
No, what I'm talking about is the atmosphere is homogeneous, and there's more concentration of atmosphere at sea level than there is at higher altitudes.
You're saying the same elements are there, but they're in different combinations. That's contradictory.
No, not in different
Anyway, the elements are there throughout the column, but they're in different combinations. So this question's moot anyway.
Hold on, I did not say that they're in different combinations. They're in different concentrations. That's different, Lemonbird. Pay attention. There's a higher concentration of gas level than there is at higher altitudes. How does relative density explain that? Because according to relative
the gas
density,
just settles to the bottom. where a bit more gas is dispersed at the bottom toward the top. That's it.
According to relative density, Lemon Bird, you would expect to find denser gases at sea level than you do at higher altitudes, but you do not see that. You just see a homogeneous mixture of gases within the troposphere. And you can't explain why that happens.
But we have clouds and different things showing layering. So it looks like we have most of the gases that we breathe anyway down here with a gentle gradient where it starts to taper out as you go upward.
Yeah, because
the gas is settling down to the bottom of the column.
Right, the clouds are only going to be supported within the density of. So basically, the clouds are being supported by buoyancy. The atmosphere.
Right, can I just check, Babs? Are you done now? Can I get going? Like you've absolutely exhausted everything you wanted me here for, right? You'll stop
because you got
telling me and saying I'm running from you, right? You've done everything. Yep.
Well, you skated past all the questions I asked you. You obfuscated. So I guess we're done. I was expecting you to answer a lot more questions, but you didn't.
You just kept asking questions, Babs. What other questions?
All right, sorry to interrupt. We do have a super chat
Here
from
we
Mr.
go, another
Ted
one
for $7.99. Why does Rekia say that he's not fat? Has he seen the photos in chat? Thank you, Ted Bundy, for the $7.99. Jem does appreciate it.
Wow, you guys are really immature, right?
Yeah.
You really.
It's not us. It's not us, Babs or Bev. It's Ted Bundy.
Yeah,
no, it was Babs too. Calling me fat.
Yeah,
it's immature.
Well, because you're a fat ass. Get a tummy tuck. Jump on a treadmill. Fix your problems and get back to us.
So immature. Get a life. Stop worrying about what other men's weight is.
Yeah.
Are you queer?
You admitted that you're overweight.
Are you queer?
Wow.
Babs.
No, we're just pointing out the obvious. We're just pointing out the obvious. You're a
do you
fat
like
ass
me,
and
Babs?
Beth is a
Do you
liar.
like overweight men, Babs? Do you like overweight men, or do you like your men skinny?
I don't like you, so that proves my point.
Do you like skinny men, Babs?
I don't like
Is that
any
why
men.
you're concerned?
What are you talking about?
Then why are you so concerned about me?
Yeah, the only reason to call someone fat.
I'm only talking to you because you're talking to me right now.
No. You brought up my name before I even came on here.
The only reason I'm
in your head, sir.
The only reason I addressed you is because you jumped into this conversation. I wasn't even thinking about you.
How much body weight I'm carrying is on your mind? Are you queer?
Listen, dumbass. I wasn't even thinking about
I'm not the dumbass talking about another man's figure.
Because you jumped into this conversation.
Why are you worried about my
figure? You jumped into the
figure?
conversation that I was
You
having.
brought my name up before I was even here.
Because you're Jeremy's boyfriend.
You mentioned my name like 5 times before I was even here.
Your boyfriend?
Are you worried about my figure?
You're defending Jeremy. So are you divorced? Are you not Jeremy's boyfriend anymore?
Jeremy
I'm not
again.
divorced.
How many men have you got in your head, Babs?
You're just queer, right?
How many men has Rekia got in his life right now?
Oh,
Come on.
You're still worried about me.
First you're on Jeremy's dick.
Why are you concerned about me?
Debate flat Earth.
You want to know about my figure? Babs, let's get it out. Do you like me, Babs?
Why would I want to know
It's a
about
little weird. It's a little weird.
About a grotesque.
It's a little weird that you talk about me when I'm not here, and then you worry about my figure.
I never talked.
You brought up my name earlier like 5 times. I wasn't even here.
I wish I talked about you. I don't even.
You keep talking about my weight and my figure.
As soon as this thing turns off,
do you like Cajun?
90%.
Do you like fat Cajuns or something? Is this you coming out of the closet?
It's incredible that you think.
It's incredible that you're butting in here white knighting for a guy who worries about another man's kid's wife and another man's figure.
The thing is that
has pictures.
The best thing that ever happened.
Photographs of other men on their computer.
All these guys that are going through midlife crisis.
They keep these pictures of
ever happened to these guys.
Grown men going through midlife crisis on their computer.
5-year-old
and then turn it around like those people have the crisis.
Let's talking about something controversial. So flat Earth is a controversial topic that gives these.
I've never mentioned your weight, sir. I've never mentioned your family, sir. Sir, if you don't mind, you're the one doing that. You're the one going through the crisis. If
he wasn't talking about this, do you really think
you save other men's pictures on your computer and talk about their figure?
Bob Nogel, because he's talking about flat Earth. No one would give a fuck about any
some more super chats should be coming in for you. Look, he's talking about it again. Why you got my ass?
Flat Earth is really the best thing that ever happened to you. You wouldn't get this much attention.
It's a little weird and discerning that you have my fat ass on your mind.
We are willing to entertain your bullshit. We're willing to entertain your flat Earth.
You can't stop talking about my fat ass. It's a little strange. Another grown man on the internet talking about another man's fat ass.
We've got another super chat. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. You made a good job of that.
All right, Ted Bundy with $4.49. Did someone call Dave's Weight Watchers coach? All right, thank you, Ted Bundy. $4.49.
But what a waste of money!
But seriously, just think about it for a second. Stop and think about it for a second. Would people?
Yeah, I stopped and thought about it. You're a man talking about my ass.
And if you think about it,
over and over again, it's like you can't stop.
That these people are doing
You're
this.
still talking about it.
Ricky, I think you've made
Why is it Rakia? Why isn't it Babs? He's the one talking about another man's ass.
I can only hear you.
You've only been hearing Babs for like an hour talk about other people's asses and
however, I feel that this point has been made, Rakia. I don't think there's any more you can make it.
Okay, what was the point, Jim?
Any more emphatically?
Can you repeat the point and I'll go on mute?
Yeah. You're very cross that Babs is apparently concerned about your weight.
No, about my ass. Like he keeps saying my fat ass. Let's get the point straight.
I am not concerned about anything Rakia does.
You keep envisioning him doing sort of things with other men's private bits as well. He keeps talking about that. He's a bit obsessed.
We're all very worried about your bottom, Rakia. I'm sure.
Y'all seem to be, Jim. You seem to promote it here.
I personally do not care about Rakia. Rakia could drop dead right now, and I would not give a shit.
Oh, well, about death too, right? Let's talk about death now.
You could die right now. You could swallow.
Yeah, listen to that, Jim. Hey, Jim, how you like that on your channel? What about? Let's talk about somebody's wife or kid again. Let's do that.
It's your ass has earned me, or me and Google $4.49, well, Australian dollars.
Wow,
profitable. So that's probably nearly 30 pence that I've made.
Money for insults is a profitable business nowadays, right?
It's Rakia's sea-lining ass that gets Bev all these super chats.
Thank you very much.
Rakia is the one that's in here all day making money for Gem. It's not me. So you making all those accusations about me making money for Gem is bullshit. Because you can see that this fat ass is the only one that's in here all day.
You mentioned my ass again, Jim. That's weird. You got a bunch of weirdos
all day making money for Gem, not me. I only come in here once in a while. He's the one that's in here tap dancing for super chats for Gem Panda.
You got me in here, Babs. You wouldn't do this anywhere else.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it like the room. Ricky, you could be like one of those supermodels where you have to have you could have your fat ass insured, like a supermodel does, you know?
I should. It's very popular, right?
Even Gem is acknowledging that your fat ass
I might insure it at this rate.
Even Gem Panda is acknowledging that your fat ass is the one that's getting paid.
He mentioned it again. He mentioned it again.
I'm reliant upon your fat ass for my income now, it seems.
Hey, there you go.
That's how sad your life is, Jim.
Keep tap dancing for Gem Panda's super chats, fat ass.
That's how sad your life has become, Jim.
I definitely have
reached someone to mention another man's fat ass for money.
I definitely have reached fat bottom. I mean,
can I just interject here and
good job,
say
Jim.
welcome, Emma. You remember at the beginning, Babs, when you said something about me lying about you, mentioning something about you wanting to have a private chat with Emma and Paige. Paige isn't here. Emma is now, Babs.
Oh, sure. Emma's here. She's not going to lie, just like you are. Because this is what you do. just lie about everything. So I'm not really expecting.
I haven't said a word yet. I've just come back from the hospital and Babs is talking shit.
All right, apologies for the interruption. We have a super chat.
Go ahead and lie. Go ahead and misrepresent me. That's what you're going to do right now. I'm not even expecting you to make any kind of fair critique about me. So go ahead and lie about me.
Super chat. Kit for $20. Great show. I hope this is enough for a few dozen chicken nuggets and a bucket of sweet tea. That goes right to Jem. Thank you, Kit. We actually have another one.
Oh, is that Kit that doesn't say anything and just sits in here and insults everybody?
Super chat. Super chat. Come on. Twitwit for $9.99. What is Rakia's favorite dipping sauce for his nuggets? Thank you, Twitwit. That is $9.99.
Ketchup. That's the only thing I ever eat. Ketchup.
I thought
okay, let's go ahead and let Emma, on the level cheerleader, give a fair critique of me. Let's let the on the level cheerleader go ahead and give a fair critique on me, right? That's what's going to happen, right? That's what you're seriously going to expect.
Babs, I couldn't care less about you. You're a crybaby.
Super chat alert.
Get over it.
All right, so
I don't care if you care about me or not. All I care about is whether you're representing me correctly or not, and you're not. Lie about it.
I do not represent you in any shape or form, Babs. Now fuck off.
So the only thing
you haven't been calling me a troll this whole time. Really?
I've been at the hospital, Babs. I've just got back. I haven't been doing anything.
Well, I'm obviously not just talking about right now. I'm talking about how you've treated me this entire time. You always take everybody else's side when I'm in a discussion.
Would you like to do this another time, or are you quite happy doing it in front of everybody?
I don't even know what you're referring to right now, because I was just having a discussion.
What you're talking about?
And you're here right now.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
One more super chat.
No, it's not weird, because you guys, I was expecting you to be here because you're one of Bev's cheerleaders. So you're obviously going to come in and try and defend Bev and make me look like a bad guy.
You have a whole room of cheerleaders that you made specially for you.
And you have a whole room of cheerleaders too. Yeah. You have a whole room of cheerleaders that just back up all the bullshit that you say. And the only reason that you're here right now is trying to discredit anything that I say because you're one of Bev's cheerleaders.
It's a super chat.
Ted Buddy, $7.99. Bev is asked his bulldog Emma to come and defend him. Thank you, Ted Bundy, $7.99 Australian.
Hang on.
To defend Bev, because she's not going to take my side. She's only going to take Bev's side. Because I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy, regardless of whether what I'm saying is correct or not. I'm always the bad guy. So go ahead, Emma. Go ahead and lie about it. Carry on.
We have yet another super chat from Twitwit, who says, "Hi Emma, hope you're feeling okay." Thank you very much.
This is profitable, isn't it?
It's a very good day today.
Go ahead, Emma.
So far, we've established that Rakia and Emma are the ones that get super chats to Gem Panda. We've established that so far because all the super chats that have come in have been towards stuff that Emma has said and stuff that Rakia has said. It has nothing to do with
I don't even want to talk about Babs. I just want to ask Jem if he's all right with people in his server reporting our server for doing nothing wrong and getting it shut down.
If somebody, I don't control what people who come in here do. Trying to lay everything on me because
that's what they try and do to me, Jem. They try and do it to me, Jem. Yeah, right, exactly. I agree with you.
Well, stop it then.
Okay, so when people come to me and say that they're going to shut your server,
if they've done something wrong, report them to Discord, please.
Yeah. Okay. Jem. Yeah, we've got your take. Brilliant. We know where you stand.
In the comments that Bev made about you, Emma, when you were not here, all he said was that you kicked him from the server because you took somebody else's side in a dispute.
Louis, sorry, what did you just say?
In terms of him talking shit, if you consider that talking shit, then that's a pretty low bar.
Real quick super chat.
Well, the thing is that
it was mainly when I walked in the room and the shit I got. Hang on a minute, Cosmo. Let me just please answer back
before everything else.
Fuck this.
Ted Bundy, $5.99 Australian. Does Bev show Emma his horizontal? Thank you, Ted Bundy.
Well, the thing is, Lewis, is that Emma and the On the Level crew are biased, so it doesn't matter how
this
ridiculous.
Is some really
it doesn't matter how
bad
ridiculous the opposition is being. they're always going to take the side that's against me.
I did predict
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm right or if I'm telling the truth. They're always going to be opposed against me. That's why it looks so ridiculous when you're observing this from the outside, because you can obviously see that these guys are liars and they're just lying about me. That's all that's going on right now.
Yeah. You're the flat Earth Messiah. How could anyone possibly lie about you?
The irony is, Babs, that they use personal attacks, but they don't take it personally.
Like,
this is not personal attacking you.
I thought he's the flat Earth Messiah. Who's they?
They're obviously taking it personally because they wouldn't be talking about it if they weren't.
Who's they, please? Babs?
You and your cheerleaders. They're in here right now.
What are we doing?
You seem to care about every single thing enough that you have to be here right now.
You asked us to come here under the pretenses of a debate, which turned into this question and answer shit show, right?
Well,
where you are just trying to slander us as much as possible.
How am I slandering you?
You're just talking shite.
I'm not slandering you. All I'm pointing out is every single thing that has happened between all the interactions we've had with each other. What have I said that wasn't true? Can you point out anything that I said that wasn't? I bet you can't.
Babs, did you sign a non-disclosure agreement with them?
No.
Okay.
You see, that's talk as much shit as they want about me, but when I say anything, that's how it works with these guys.
What is it that you have said?
They get to make out of context videos where they call me a troll, they call me a glober, do all this shit about me.
This is literally what we do. We just put the broadcast out.
The moment when I say anything about it, I'm the bad guy.
Sounds like you're obsessed, Babs.
So I guess I should just keep quiet, right? I should just
it does sound like he's obsessed to you, lad, doesn't it?
You're just talking constantly, Babs. It is hard to make any sense of this, really.
Why we have silence?
I apologize, Jim Panda. I'm just doing it because I don't know if he's talking over me or not. Because I know he likes to do that, and I want to make sure everybody hears what I have to say.
It's just this constant stream of anti-flat Earth builds, and you're like implying that it's a ball or something. It's not.
All right,
what have I said that's anti-flat Earth, Lemon Bird?
Hang on, guys. We got
a super chat from Twit. $4.99 US. Are super chats too interruptive? Should we legislate how many super chats can be read during a flat Earth debate? Thank you, Twit, for that $4.99. And another super chat came in from Ted Bundy, $4.49 Australian. Good plan, Twit. Thank you, Ted Bundy. Oh, and here's another super chat from Twit for $4.99. Thanks, Ted. Thumbs up. You are the best, or you're the best. Thank you, Twit for $4.99 US.
No, I definitely don't think they're too interruptive. We should not legislate. Anyway, Bev, are you saying that a debate did not occur? And if so, would you like one to occur, or have you had enough?
A future date, yeah. Like I said the other day, I'm open for a debate on statement level is a straight line on a horizontal plane.
I mean with me. I meant today. I meant today.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying as a general, I'm open for a debate. If you guys ever want to man up and try and structure a debate for that, I don't think you will. I think you're all scared and you'll probably obfuscate, but you like the drama, right?
Bev, how
Let's
about
get
you
a few more
define
super chats in?
So we know what a debate is, because you seem to think that we don't understand what a debate is. So why don't you give a definition of a debate is?
Well,
so
we knew that this wouldn't be a debate. We knew what it would be is a way to draw out all of the trolls that are trying to do a hit job on us.
Can you define
we get you all together in one nice little space?
You're going to say that what's happened over these last couple of hours is not a debate. Can you define what a debate is for us?
Well, part of a good debate is where people answer questions directly. That's a good debate.
Yeah,
this is not a debate.
Bev having asking questions.
Yeah, exactly. Which questions did Bev answer directly then? Because he didn't answer.
I think he was asking you, Jose. Go on.
I asked him.
Yeah, I answer. In the 1 hour plus I've been listening, Bev answered 0 questions.
Exactly.
0 questions.
So
He
this is
avoided all of them.
Exactly. So this is not a debate, and it's not my fault. It's Bev's fault for not answering any questions.
Okay, so we'll go,
real quick,
we'll go
we have
over it and find the questions that you did actually
Bev.
ask.
Hold up, Bev. This is the rules of the server. New Bay for $1.99. And is Ted really Trish? Thank you for the $1.99. And Ted Bundy for $4.49 Australian. No, you are the best twit. Thank you, Ted Bundy.
Okay,
cool. Did you miss the tweet one that said, thanks, Ted, you're the best? Or did we do that one?
I did do that one. Yes. We're
so you are the one, the Cosmo, that accused me of being a child abuser, right? On this server.
God.
He said you
Hold on a
all
minute.
about my family.
Wait, hold on a minute. We're supposed to get you to answer questions. Let's not forget about that.
Okay,
so let's get back to the questions.
Yeah.
What measurements have you done to
Can he not answer that then, Cosmo? Or do you only?
No, I'm asking you a question right now. I'm asking you a question right now. What measurements have you done to substantiate that level is horizontal? What have you done to do that?
I've got multiple level tools. Yeah.
Okay. And what measurements have you done to substantiate that?
You check one with the other, don't you? You know, repeatable.
No, he didn't ask how to use the tools. He asked what measurements you've taken with the tools.
Oh, measurement of a horizontal. Do you know what a measurement of a horizontal is?
So you're
not answering. Yeah,
you're asking a question instead of giving an answer.
Yeah. Because in order for you to understand, I'm talking to you particularly. I'm not talking to the people out there because obviously everybody out there knows that you cannot measure a horizontal.
I think it's
a
tool
to establish a horizontal. Those tools are called levels.
The person asking you questions from your point of view never understands why they're asking the question and wouldn't possibly understand the answer. It seems like that's always the case when somebody asks you a question.
Okay. Are you ready to let me answer it now? Or you
hold on a minute. We've got two more
there you go.
chats.
Yep.
Wit says,
Really
thanks,
profitable.
Ted. You're far too kind. I really do admire your charm. Thanks very much, Wit. And Ted Bundy says, thanks for a great show, Space Pope. Thank you very much, Ted Bundy.
Do you usually get
thanks,
this?
Ted Bundy. Anytime.
No, this only happens when you're here, Bev.
Wow.
You should have him on more often.
I bring money.
Very rare I get a super chat. They pop up, maybe once every couple of days, probably. Well, not even that.
Wow. So it is just me being here there, or do you think it might be Babs, the Flat Earth Messiah?
Well, we've got 44 watching and 60 in here. 60 in here, so...
You see, the funny thing is that Bev accused me. The funny thing is that Bev accused me for financing the Gem Panda server. Like, I'm the one that gets you guys super chats. But clearly, you can see all the evidence shows that Emma, Bev, and Rakia are the ones that are getting you super chats right now.
Yeah, that's why you wanted us in here, isn't it? Like you get us in here. So
how does that benefit me, though? How does
just make up lines and think you can have a debate.
How does Gem Panda getting paid benefit me? How does that benefit me? How does Gem Panda making money on the internet benefit me, you dumbass?
Well, don't know. You wanted to do it live. You obviously wanted to do it.
I'm not going to share it. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I'm really mean.
Or you don't have to share it. He's already recording this.
You chose the site.
Yeah, you came here.
I chose
You
this
wanted
site,
here.
badass, because this is the only unbiased place.
You're making the money for
This is the only unbiased place where I'm not going to get muted.
Unbiased. This is the most biased. You chose it. You're making the money.
Because on Emma's server, I have to deal with
doesn't
your
have
fat ass,
super
I have to deal with
chats.
Merle's dumbass.
Emma
and I have to
doesn't
deal with
take
Emma's
money.
dumbass kicking me off of the server.
Emma doesn't take money.
Yeah, but Emma mutes you.
Exactly. Emma mutes and boots
I've
people.
been muted
I'm
10
not gonna have
times
to
here.
deal with that bullshit when I'm in here right now.
I've been
I'm not gonna have to deal with salty mods muting me, and I'm not gonna have to deal with fat Cajun ass pieces of shit getting the top.
You can insult people away, right?
Yeah, this is another super chat coming pretty soon.
Yo, you might get muted. All right?
Maybe Trish has got a few more dollars she can donate.
If you keep yelling, you might get muted, bro.
We have actually got
loves the drama.
We have actually got 2 more super chats.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about my ass some more.
Who says, not a problem, Twit. Thank you very much, Ted Bundy. And New B, who says, good try, Trish.
Ted Bundy, yeah. Oh, someone called her Trish. That's a no-no.
It's all cryptic in the super chat.
Wow. Oh, Trish doesn't have separate accounts here. It wouldn't be Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Come on. She's telling the truth last night. We're the only ones who lie.
So there is still
exactly. You're the only one that lies. So I don't have a problem with Jem getting super chats because he's not lying. I got a problem with you lying, dumbasses making money lying on the.
Oh, really? We don't make money on the internet, sir. I don't have.
All the debate platforms don't make money on the internet.
Bev and Emma don't take money.
Okay, we've got another super chat's question for you, Rakia, from Black Sabbath, who says the question is: does Rakia use Louisiana hot sauce?
I do not. I don't like spicy food. I don't use any hot sauce on my food.
Right.
Yeah, he puts KY jelly on his chicken nuggets.
Let the liar tell you what I do, because I just told you the truth, and that guy just lied. Imagine that, right?
Mayonnaise.
He puts Jem, he puts motor oil.
Oh, yo, Jem, hey, let the liar tell you what I do with my food, Jem.
He enjoys mayonnaise. Mayonnaise more.
This is funny. This is entertainment. We should put this on TV.
Jose.
Then we can let people decide who's lying or not. Do I put KY jelly on my food or ketchup? Let me see. I said ketchup. Truth. The liar said KY jelly.
Jose, what do you call white boys?
Yo, this is the best shit that ever happened to you.
This is the best.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No one would know who you are.
Everyone hears how you're lying. Everyone hears how you're lying, and you're calling me a liar.
You got every reason to be here because this is the best shit that ever happened to you. Really? Do you really think anybody would watch this dumbass? Really? And I said this last time I talked to him.
They're super chatting out the wazoo.
All of these flat earthers have a lot.
Not because of you. Not because of your lies.
Think about it.
They're
you really think Bob Nodell would have groupies like Rachy 0007 on his ass if he wasn't talking about flat Earth? And that's the only reason you're doing it.
I don't go to Bob's channel, sir.
It's all.
I don't go to these places you're talking
about. It's all for the attention. It's all for the narcissism.
I don't go there.
Really.
I don't go. Yeah.
Bob, it's because, isn't it? You're doing so badly, Babs. They need to distract. They need to cause drama, and they're doing well. Do you not see that's what's happening?
How am I
Babs?
doing badly?
They're super chatting to cause drama, for fuck's sake. You're doing awful.
Super chatting.
No drama. He's funny. It's funny comment. It's not nothing to do with drama. They people having fun, bro.
Because of your dumbass.
These super chats
aren't in here right now, and I just pointed that out. You're the one, Jam Panda, not me. Your dumbass are the ones that are making.
You chose the site. You chose a site that takes money. You denied a site that doesn't take money to come talk on a site that does take money, Babs. You chose the site.
No, I denied a biased platform with biased mods.
He said from the beginning he just wanted his side recorded so that he didn't go into Emma's and have them record him and then maybe distort.
Because he can't record? Is that what you're saying? He's too stupid to
why
record?
do I want to go to Emma's server where she brown nose?
Where they don't take money?
Why do I want to go
Why
there?
not come here? Why not come here where they do take money so you can brag about the money being
taken? She's gonna brown nose the entire On the Level crew like she always does. So this is the only place that's gonna give me an unbiased review.
Expose of you.
This is the only place that's gonna give me an unbiased review of my rhetoric. Because on Emma's server.
Wait a minute. I really want to know this, Dave. For a minute. What's the On the Level crew? I'm not aware of it, dude. It's just
Anyway, another super chat from Witwit, who says one of the best morning streams in a long time. Wow. Many thanks.
Yeah, very entertaining, Jim.
Yeah. Many thanks to all participants. Thank you very much, participants.
Profitable.
Yeah, good job.
You're welcome.
Jim. I agree. One of the most entertaining shows around. When you get people on here that lie and call other people liars, And the same people talk about, the same people talk about other men's asses and their sons.
Absolutely
and their
disgusting behavior.
Great entertainment, Jim.
Shout out to Twidward.
You are the best.
Nothing I said was a lie because Rakir's a fat ass. Here's a liar. None of that is lies, by the way.
I prefer slightly overweight, but I'm a little biased.
Let's leave Rakir's bottom out of the conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about our family.
Why the fuck am I even talking to Rakir right now? I'm supposed to be talking to Ben.
Wow, because you're stupid. You can't even remember your
You're
own
the one
rules.
that's stupid. You're the one that is a fat agent dumbass. Not
I
me.
don't have any
You're the
men's
dumbass.
pictures saved on my
demonstrate
computer, sir.
to everybody in here just how much of a dumbass you are every single day.
We have another super chat.
Okay.
Amy Hogan says, "Thank you, Jem, for the great show. The voice chat is bedlam, and it's awesome."
Yes. All right. I told you this was entertainment. Y'all have nothing but insults and entertainment.
Hey,
Jose himself.
I think we really
Jose
need
himself said we're all characters.
We do need to set up.
I think I've heard about enough of what you have to say. So why don't you shut your dumb fat ass up and let
listen at
that
him for
carry on
another
the
personal
conversation.
attack.
Now, come on. We're not going to talk about the bottom.
We need to set up a debate, guys. But I think we really should wait for the COVID lockdown to be over.
Of course,
Why?
yeah. There are so many restrictions in place that we can't do anything until it's over. We can't run tests. We can't have debates.
What do you think you're doing? Of course, you're not allowed to. It's COVID. We're on.
I'll tell you what, it feels
COVID
like the lockdown's over today. If you go out there's a lot of traffic on the road. Definitely.
How does COVID prevent you from doing a
back
test?
to work today. You can feel it.
You lying ass piece of shit. How does COVID prevent?
Leave his ass out of this.
How does COVID prevent your lying ass from? How?
I cannot get my son.
Why does he have to be there?
Because this is a family journey, right?
That's nonsense.
He can't make an announcement.
Dude, and you're just making
been involved in this, all of it.
To be fair, he isn't making excuses. He isn't allowed to make an unnecessary journey. He might not be able to meet with certain people that he might need to do this. So it's not unfair for it to be postponed, at least this far.
Until that test is done, he can't make the claims.
Please take it back, the lying piece of shit, Babs.
So you don't get to make these claims if you have no evidence to substantiate anything you're saying. So until you do that test, you can't make any claims.
What claim?
Horizontal. You can't make those claims until you've substantiated.
I claim that level is horizontal. Can I not?
Well, here's a claim for you. Bev. Cleary that's super chatted. $2. Who says, Jem, is there any doubt Bebs is a globehead?
Babs and Merriam-Webster. All the
Babs?
dictionaries are claiming that level's horizontal, so it's not just Bev claiming that.
We prefer reality, though, Jeremy. Sorry.
Reality.
Thanks. Cleary is one of on the level crew, and he's giving Jim Panda money. Thank you, Cleary, for
exactly.
The dictionary also says that level conforms to the curvature of Earth's
this is
surface.
a bit bad, right? Everyone jump in.
Babs, what do you reckon to the accusation that you're a globehead? What's your response to that?
I'm not going to take that seriously because Cleary's a fat dumbass too.
Oh no, Cleary.
I'm happy that Jim Panda is making money today. I'm really happy.
Really thinks that.
I'm
Really,
getting a little
really
worried
gonna-
about these sizist comments, though, Babs.
Did he mention another man's ass?
Again,
he did.
He's
He
I'm
did.
just pointing out the obvious.
Where can you
I'm
be?
just pointing
You're
out.
making Rakia jealous now, Babs.
It seems like, turning around on me. It seems like Babs can't get men's asses out of his head.
Well, if you're jealous, that's not my problem. That sounds like that's
Jim,
your problem.
I'm not jealous. That was Jim. That was Jim projecting. Jim is thinking about those
Rakia.
asses too.
Right. Now, are we really going to point Cleary out as?
I'm not jealous.
Are we really going to
everyone
point?
spot
Are
on
we
equally.
really going
Hey,
to
Jim
point
Panda.
Cleary
Actually,
out as
I'm a little jealous that Jim Panda is making a good amount of money today, but I am thrilled and I am really happy for you. Hell yeah, you deserve that, brother.
That's
I
right.
pity you, isn't it, Jose? You'd have done better yourself.
You'd have to
You know,
invite,
are we really going to
invite these fat asses on your show, Jose.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll...
Are we really going to use Cleary as a reliable source of evidence? Fat ass. All that fat ass does is just record other people talking because he can't create his own content. So we're going to use that guy as a reliable source of evidence. A guy that's constantly got Nathan Oakley's cock in his mouth. Really? Is that who you're going to rely on as being a reliable source of evidence? Really?
Yeah.
Cock and ass, every other word. You're queer, man.
Well, what am I supposed to do when you have Nathan Oakley's cock?
Again,
What am I supposed to do? Am I not supposed to point that out?
A man's cock.
Am I not supposed to point out how you guys gobble Nathan and Kiwi's cocks all day?
Oh,
I'm not supposed to point that out, am I?
Thoughts, sir. Think about whatever you want, but it's strange that you think about cock and ass of men all the time.
I don't think
That's
Rick
strange
here
because I'm just pointing out what you do, and that's
I
not.
don't think Rick here is an Oakley tard.
I don't even.
Oh, he definitely is. He definitely is. You can go to Oakley's, watch Rakia donate $100 to Oakley every single month. He's definitely an Oakley cock rider.
Well, it's
Right, but he doesn't
last like 4 months. I gave Jose $100 yesterday, not Oakley. You lying piece of shit! You know.
So why is Nathan's dick in your mouth then? You're the one that's lying. He's coming to talk to us with Nathan's jizz all over his face, and he's like, I don't know who Nathan is. I don't talk to Nathan. Yet he's got Nathan's jizz all over his face.
You're making
Get the fuck out
yourself
of here.
look foolish.
Two more super chats. Two more super chats.
He's coming to talk to us with Nathan. He's coming in here to talk to us with Nathan and Quantum Eraser's jizz all over his face, and he's like, I don't know who Nathan is. I don't know who Quantum Eraser is.
I'm beginning to doubt he is the true flat
Chat,
earth messiah, you know.
$2 US from Cosmonaut exclamation point. Can we ban Rakia for his homophobia? Thank you, Cosmonaut. All right, next one from Sean Smith for $5. Nothing better than chicken nuggets and a grown man dodging questions like a toddler escaping bedtime. Thank you, Sean Smith, for that $5.
Yeah, I championed that idea. Can we ban Rakia? Because why the fuck is he even in here right now?
Why is the child abuse accuser reading out your super chats?
My name is New Black Money.
Child abuse accuser.
Accuser, yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Jim,
Oh my God.
sir.
What?
This man reading out your super chats accused another man of being a child abuser. Why?
Well, did he though?
Does anyone have evidence of this?
That's it. This is a thing that Bev says every time he comes here, isn't he?
So he
He's
didn't
always
do it?
going on about somebody accused him of being a child abuser.
So he didn't
Wait,
do it?
wasn't Bev the guy using his kids
I
to
don't
set
know,
people
but
up
it
to
was
get done for
probably-
child,
Now
like
we're turning it back
child
on Bev.
weirdness?
I think it was
Maybe you
probably
should
What's
find
that?
out, right?
What's that?
Maybe you
Cosmo?
I can go.
Cosmo,
Why?
do you want to
what
read
I
that?
don't
Do
need
you want
to
to read
find
that
out.
message out?
don't get upset. Maybe
What
you
I-
should just find out, right?
What
Read
I
the
don't.
message out. Go on.
What I don't need to find out is what I've already experienced, right? Which is Bev.
So you don't
saying,
need to check on it.
which is Bev saying someone called him a child abuser. Every time he comes here.
Yeah. And there's the evidence in the debate chat box. You've got him reading
why are you
your
bringing
super
that up? That has
chats.
nothing to do with me. Why are you bringing that up? You're supposed to
and
be
this is
talking
you,
about it.
Jim Panda,
This is
you're going
you.
through this. You're going
Hold
through
on a
this, Jim
minute.
Panda.
Let's just be clear about what happened here, okay? This is a thing that Bev does. It's a thing that he's always done. He claims this is the reason he's here because someone called him a child abuser.
Mhm.
So this is a little tactic that he works. He's provoked this response from Cosmonaut clearly.
Provoked?
Yes, clearly. Well, look,
Provoked someone to call you a child abuser?
well, let's think
Come on,
about what
Jim.
people call each other on the
I did
internet.
say
Do
that
they
level
call
was
each other child
horizontal.
abusers?
I mean,
Do they
I
call
don't
each
know.
other
I may
child
have
abusers?
deserved it.
Hang on, I'm still talking. Or do they call each other pedos? That's what I hear. I hear people being called pedos. The phrase child abuser is Bev's phrase that he always uses.
No, that's what they use.
Apparently, Fight the Flat Earth said to him. And
Cosmo,
because
the
of
guy
that,
reading your
the rest
super
of us-
chats.
the rest of us are responsible for this in some way. And this is what Cosmo clearly is responding to. And that's the point, isn't it? The point of Bev doing this is so that people make this accusation to him, and then he can do this victim act. So it worked, Bev, until it got to me.
Yeah, no, but why is Bev bringing up things that don't apply to the people that... All those pedo accusations have nothing to do with me. So why do you keep bringing that up?
It didn't happen in here, so what's it got to do with me?
Exactly, and it didn't happen in here either.
You're talking about pedo accusations.
If you have a problem, this happened on YouTube, I take it, given the style of it. Report them to YouTube. Why are you telling me?
Because he's reading your super chats.
So what?
I thought you might want to know those sort of things.
Well, I know, like I say, I know what's gone on. Doesn't bother
you know,
me.
he did it because I said that level is horizontal. That's why I just brought it back up again.
I know your daft little tactics, Bev. You're just a troll, aren't you?
No, you just disagreed with us just before when we said level was horizontal. That's why I brought it up.
Silly game.
If anybody wants the origin of this story, it actually started with Bev saying, I'm teaching my son that water is flat and level. I'm teaching him to look at the real world with his own eyes. And then he switched it to level is horizontal. So his first claim was water is flat and level. Then he changed it to that
Did you call him a child?
level is horizontal.
Was it before or after he said all that? Oh, wait,
I said
let
what?
me back
I
up.
said what now?
Did you call him a child abuser?
My personal opinion is that teaching your kids wrong information is a form of mental child abuse. Yes.
So you called Bev a child abuser for teaching his son for saying those things you just said.
Like I said, my personal opinion is that teaching his severely autistic son wrong information on purpose is a form of mental child abuse.
What's wrong?
You just said the exact words were.
That's my personal opinion, is that he's abusing his mentally deficient child. Yes.
Sorry, what did you call him?
Well, you did say that he has severe autism. So
no, I did not. I have never
said enough autism to be on disability.
Wow, dude.
My personal opinion is that teaching him wrong information on purpose is harming him.
Maybe you should keep
the
your opinion
level
to yourself.
is horizontal. This is going to be big, this, Cosmo. You do realize
I'm teaching him water is flat and level. I'm teaching him to look at the real world in his own eyes. That's your own words. That was before level is horizontal.
Something's wrong with that?
You're trying to change the narrative.
Horizontal, yes.
You're trying to deflect from water is flat and level, which you know is a claim that you can never back up.
Water is flat and level. It's horizontal. No, yes. Water level
is horizontal. Your measurement. You can't do a test for the last 3 years.
Wow, it's proper triggering, isn't it?
What measurements have you done to substantiate that water is flat and level, Bev?
Maybe go on mute for a little bit. It's not about you.
Shut the fuck up, Rikia. Shut the fuck up. What measurements have you done to prove that level... That water is level and horizontal?
He surely hasn't called anybody a
Shut your fat Cajun dumbass up. What measurements have you done? Shut your dumbass up. Shut your fat Cajun dumbass up. What measurements have you done to prove that water is level and horizontal?
We're trying to talk about facts and about the water and about the taste, and you guys want to keep talking about the drama.
Yeah, well. So
I'm asking Bev a question, and this fat dumbass keeps jumping in. What measurements have you done to prove that water is level and horizontal, Bev?
Do you want me to answer for him? Because I've heard the answer.
Yeah, he haven't answered. He haven't not answered the question.
I want you to ask. Where does the child abuse come in?
But why are you want to try to talk about the drama?
In this conversation, you fat dumbass.
I can answer Bev's question. I can answer the question for Bev. He have not done any test. He have done zero tests to prove that water is flat and level.
Dude,
he have done zero.
You're all trying to defend him, but you all think it too, don't you?
Done zero tests.
You all have to have this narrative.
Bev, answer the question. I'm curious, Bev. Just answer the question.
Wow,
he have done zero tests. He got a whiteboard and a lot of rhetoric.
Come on in.
He have done any tests.
Super chat is calling someone a child abuser.
Dude,
no one cares about that, right?
Like, how business is that of ours?
Yeah, no one. Hey, listen.
He's
doing
it on Jim's super chat.
We're trying to avoid to talk about that because that's your personal issues. We tried to talk about the gravy, about flat, level, water, and the test. That's the important topic.
Jesus
Christ, listen to you guys.
For us, the dumbest people on the internet get to be part of this conversation as well, unfortunately. So the dumbasses like Rakia, the fat dumbasses, get to be part of this conversation.
You chose the
even though they
spot.
don't deserve to be in this conversation right now. They get to be part of it.
The guy
So get back to
accusing a
science.
man of being a child abuser
Let's-
is
let it
reading
go.
out the
Get back to
super
science.
chats that
Can we
you
get back
chose
to
to
the
come
science?
to.
Can we get back to the science, please?
What measurements
Yes.
have you done to substantiate that water is level? Can you answer that?
Water level is horizontal. I have proof. A personal
No,
proof.
you
What
don't.
proof? What
I have
proof?
a geometric
Where is
proof.
it?
I have
Where
a
is it?
logical proof.
Immediate interruption.
No,
You
you
tried to
don't.
answer and 3 people jumped in.
Rakia,
He's not answering the question. What tests have he done?
He has personal proof and 3 people jumped in before he could
Shut up,
explain.
Rakia.
So he
What
found the
about the
proof
other
in,
people?
in books and definitions, or have you done any test to
He
test
said he
this?
proved it to himself.
The Earth is
Yes,
flat.
I
so you know.
have done many personal tests. Yes,
Look at
I
And
have.
really, like, what the hell is wrong with the mods in
The
here?
Earth is definitely flat.
Dude,
Why do the mods
he was
let
just about to tell you about his test, and this guy's interrupting.
dumbasses like Branson or
Complaining
Keith
about the mods.
happen? Why aren't these dumbasses muted? Really? Because they're not.
Hold up, Babs. Hold up. Give him a chance. Give him a chance to
Why
answer,
the fuck are
Babs.
these guys not muted? Mods, what the fuck are you doing?
Shut up,
we
Clover.
don't like the
Hold
news.
up, Babs.
We're trying to
Let
make the world
Bev.
possible.
Let Bev. His test that he's done and documented.
Dude,
Go on, Bev.
dude, I'll say this again, right? I came here for a chat with Babs. If he'd have wanted
not
a
answering the
presentation doing for my test, he
not
could have
answering
come
the
over
Not
at
gonna
any
answer.
time.
you're
Anyone
not
could
gonna
have.
Not to answer the
Yeah,
question.
he's not gonna
So you're not gonna tell us what test have you
More
done?
interruptions.
You don't want to show what test have you
are
done? We want to see this test.
4
Of it.
people interrupted.
We
Yeah,
want to see the
because you
test, the
refused to
physical
answer.
test, to
Come on.
substantiate
He's not
your
answering.
claim.
What do you mean? No.
Anytime.
Guys, can we?
Isn't it
can we
obvious
answer-
by now? He can't. He can't
Can we try
answer
to-
the question, so he's just
can
not
we-
going to answer.
Can we
Come
get
over
some
whenever,
decorum,
guys. Don't worry about it.
Can we try to get some decorum, please? Just a little bit. We just get it reduced down to the 2 people that are trying to talk, and have everyone else stop kibitzing. Maybe. Is that possible?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think the 2 people that we want to hear talk are Bev and Space Pope. So can we just let them do that and not have everyone else jumping in?
Well, Bev was just about to tell us about his test. The one
No, he
he's
wasn't,
done.
Alan.
Oh, he
No,
was.
actually, wait, hold on. Bev was about to answer. How has he measured that water is in fact horizontal in level? What measurements have you done to substantiate? Go on, Bev.
Just rewind it and go back to the bit where you asked it earlier and I answered it earlier. Just do that in your memory.
Why can't you answer
Just
it right
do
now?
that.
Why can't you
Because
answer?
I've already answered the question. It's pointless repeating myself.
You're avoiding answering the question. Because if it was that simple, you would have answered it all.
I did answer it earlier.
So go ahead
If
and answer
you
it right now.
weren't that simple, you
No,
wouldn't be
go ahead
asking
and
it again.
answer it right now. Why can't you do that right now?
Because I've already done it, like I've just stated.
You haven't answered
Is
a
this the
single
best
thing.
answer you've got?
Okay, we get it. You're not going to answer it. We get it.
Yeah, okay.
Just run along,
Off you
run
go.
away.
I mean, it's
Go on.
it's really
Super
amazing.
chats.
No, not a single question. He didn't answer a single question.
Is this
Direct
the guy
That's what I was saying.
you
There's not
accused the man of being a child
Ran
abuser?
away.
avoided.
Direct-
Yeah, why you
Whatever
going
you
on
know,
with
I
this,
think it was
man?
he
ran
Let's
away.
avoid the topic, man.
It's ridiculous. He's avoided every single question he's asked. Yet these dumbasses like Rakia are still kissing
I've
his
said,
ass.
Babs, anytime you want to come over and watch a presentation,
You're
you
right
can.
here. You're right here. Why can't you do
It's
answer
these are
questions right here?
Why can't
personal
you do it right
presentations.
now, right here?
Already seen
Why
his
do
presentation.
you think
Trying to
me
lure
doing
us
it
into
It's
your
child
your
abuse?
echo chamber.
Do you want to? You might
And
get some
lure you
children
in.
that don't want anybody
Free
seeing
puppies,
this
he says
level
on
is
the side of his
horizontal
van.
proof. That
Free
might
ice
be a
cream,
bit
kids,
bad,
right up
right?
beside
Bev,
my
your
van.
Bev, your demonstration is not telling us how you have actually done the test.
Is it not?
Of course not.
Your demonstration is not showing.
Is it a way to show you how you can do it for yourself?
No, but you're gonna
But you
tell
haven't
us
done
how
it
you
yet.
have already done it.
How do you know I haven't?
Because you haven't tell us have you done what you have done. You haven't tell us. That's why.
Telling you pricks anything.
Were there COVID
yeah,
restrictions?
You don't believe a word any of us say. In
Not
fact,
said
you
anything,
go
have you?
opposite to what we
So
say
you believe.
because you think you are of a superior intellect to everyone who comes in.
Not thinking,
We already know you haven't done anything, Bev. That's the point. And we know you're never going to.
How do you know I haven't done anything?
Because you never presented anything when you asked for it.
You would have, yeah, exactly. You would have taken pictures, a video. You would have spread it all over the place.
When I'm out in the field, how can I record it? It gets recorded on Discord. I'm not on the Discord. I'm out in the field on my. So somebody else might have all of the stuff with the conversations and the pictures and the stuff that we've been doing. Yes.
B-Ball, most likely what's happened is that he's doing the same thing that Bob Nodell is doing. He's probably done the test.
Name dropping.
He's just withholding the results because he's concerned about how we're going to interpret the results. Because he knows that he may have...
Like, what you guys think means nothing to me. Trust me on that.
And he's worried about that. He's worried that he's going to be...
I'm not bothered about what you think at all.
Why are you funding muting people, Bev? Bev, why are you funding muting people?
Perhaps I think it's worse than that. I think Bob does have some data.
Yeah, that's what I said. Autismo, it's the exact same thing. He has data that he's withholding. He's worried about how.
He even has the data.
I'm worried how you guys will handle it. I'm really worried.
With $5. Is Bev afraid of his own information? Is he a chicken nugget? Thank you, Sean Smith. $5.
No, I'm not afraid of anything. It's going to be tough for you guys, though, right? I don't want it to give it you in like a mass. Like you'll all flip out. I mean, look how crazy you're going now.
Why not just publish your results? You're doing the same thing that Bob Nodell and F.E. Core are doing. You're just not publishing your results.
What is? I'm waiting for you guys to come up with a curvature measurement, and then I'll put it up against that, right?
You're withholding your results.
You're waiting for us.
That's why he's funny muting me right now. He doesn't want He doesn't want anything I'm saying to be heard right now. Just like Bob Nodell and F.E. Core is withholding the results because he's scared about them being proven wrong. It's the same thing that's happening. You've probably done the
sure you're the flat Earth Messiah?
No, he hasn't.
I think you might be.
Yeah, he hasn't done the test.
Bob Nodell hasn't done the test.
That's what I keep saying. I keep a lot of definitions on a lot of whiteboard, and he haven't done anything. He haven't been on the field.
Been talking about it for 3 years and now blaming COVID.
3 years. Cosmo, 3 years.
I'm sorry.
Have you been with me for that long on the Twitter trolls? Have you?
2 years.
Oh,
now
is that why you're so triggered?
All right.
Can't control this shit.
Was 3 years a lie?
Can I ask you
or
a question?
Just you being stupid?
My question is, why do you?
I think in 3 years you probably should have found the truth by now. I mean,
well, maybe it's not 3 years.
M. Scott is trying to say something, guys.
I was just going to ask Bev a question about why is it that, and I find this to be true for a lot of people, why do you lean in so strong anytime anyone says anything that's personal or an insult, and then avoid anything of interest like science or the actual method you used or exactly how you came to these beliefs? Why don't we talk about that stuff instead of everyone all just waiting for a chance to get into more of a fight?
Okay, brilliant. Like I've said, I've had it on open offer for people to come round and go through this. I've tried to present this
Immediate interruption.
many times.
And too busy worrying about which you bring up
taking turns.
Well, so can I ask you a question, Bev?
You asked the question and your guy interrupted.
What he did was he interrupted because he has actually been over to see the proof and he agreed with it. It was good, wasn't it? No,
interrupted again.
Definitions and that's
interrupted again.
So
he's talking
on video where he agrees. It's a good proof.
It's also at the time I was P. Mars, but that seems to still evade you.
Oh, when you try to do your PMARS trick.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
try?
Okay. Let's just drop the PMR stuff. Can I just ask a question? The follow-up question is this: but you're here to talk about something, right? You're here to talk to Space Pope about a topic of something. I hope is not.
They actually weren't.
No, Space Pope was bitching out of the debate and turning it into a conversation or something. I can't remember.
Oh, did I win? I heard
just
someone
wanted
say
to ask me a load of questions, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but I mean, the point of Scott's question is, why can't you just do it? Like, you're here.
Do what? Why can't I do what?
Present your
Talk
evidence.
about like the actual science involved here. You have these beliefs.
Science.
None of us can understand how. None
Scott,
of us can. Oh my
there's
God.
no science involved in this. This is pure
misinterpreted the results, and he doesn't want to show you that.
geometry.
He's misunderstood and misinterpreted.
Okay, Bev, why are you quibbling with words like that? You understand what I'm talking about, right?
This is
You have
pure
these beliefs.
geometry. Yes, there's no science in it. Just geometry.
Can you not interrupt me? When I say science, I mean math and science. Okay, I'm just using it as a casual catch-all for these kinds of topics. So you have these beliefs, and these beliefs are based in math and science, but then we don't understand how you got to these because they contradict our beliefs that we have, and we know how we got to ours, and we're willing to talk about it. So when we ask to hear how you got to your belief, we're really genuinely trying to understand how did you get there, and then it just feels like we never get a good answer.
Well, it's because I have a proof, right? A real proof. But first of all, you have to understand what a proof is. Once you understand what a proof is, a real proof, a mathematical proof, right? Once you do that, you then learn how to represent that in reality, using what we have in reality. You do that with a logical method and a geometric principles, with a proof behind the method. Yes, I've invited anyone can come over and watch this. Go through it, say whether it's a good method or a bad method. But nobody wants to actually come and see it. So we're going to have to wait until we actually do it, right? And then word's going to have to get out, and you're going to ask.
Scott, you gotta get in there.
Bev, let me just speak. Okay, so this proof though that you're talking about, this when you say proof, you mean a mathematical proof, and which is really the only kind of proof there is anyway.
Absolutely.
So how do you connect that in any kind of meaningful way to the actual physical reality of the world?
By its geometry, right?
He literally means the word geometry.
Geometry means earth measurement.
Well,
right?
no, mathematically,
literally what it means. So you just find ways to use geometric proofs.
That's not what geometry. That's not what the word geometry means, Bev. No, hang on, I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Let Scott. Let Scott.
So the mathematical proof is an abstract thing, as you pointed out earlier.
Did you get anyone?
And so it doesn't connect to the real world necessarily.
What doesn't connect to the real world?
A mathematical proof does it.
Of course it does.
How so? How did you do that?
Newton used Euclid for mathematical laws of mechanics.
But Newton didn't prove anything about the world, the physical world.
Just the geometry. Yeah, it's just the geometry.
Yeah. So the geometry,
so like wheels and all of your forces and all of that sort of stuff. That was all pure geometrical, right? Yeah, but all of it ranks true. What about Pythagorean theorem, right? The triangle.
That's not in the real world, right?
That is in the real world. Yes, that is Euclidean geometry.
No,
so all the principles work.
What I'm saying is that it's an abstract thing that's proved. In the real world, we have to approximate that.
Wow.
In the real world, we don't have the pure triangles. We have to approximate them. We come up with a rough estimate.
Is he breaking up for everyone, or is that just me?
We're roughly.
Yeah, he's breaking up. He's breaking up a little bit.
Scott, I can't hear you. You were saying some shit about triangles. I really wish I'd have heard it.
I've just posted the definition for the word geometry there. So please tell me where in there it says anything about the study of Earth.
It would be helpful, Bev. It would be helpful, Bev. When I'm talking, you wouldn't talk, so you could hear me. If I'm breaking up, then I'll know right away because you won't be talking the whole time.
Shut up,
so you can say something, and then I'll know to stop.
That's the only thing he said. He interrupted
you.
you. Yeah, that wasn't him. He just said you were breaking up.
So, Bev, here's what I said. The real world, we don't actually have triangles, right? We have approximations of triangles.
No,
So
we have
we didn't
triangles.
prove
We definitely have triangles, mate.
not true triangles.
Glober, you're dumb as hell.
Not true triangles. We have approximations of triangles.
No, we have triangles. Well, that's what trigonometry is. You've heard of it, surely.
That's false.
Not true triangles. Because we don't only have
No,
two
they
straight
are
lines.
actual triangles. Yeah, that's what trigonometry is.
In the real world,
We don't.
Because they
in
are
the real world, it's flat, Scott.
It's
Dude,
not,
if
though.
you don't have anything to
hard
add to the
develop.
conversation,
In
stay
the
out of
real
it, please.
world, it's flat,
Who's
Scott.
keep out, dude?
Okay, I don't know who you are, but you're interrupting and you're wrong, but it's hardly relevant to what we're talking about. So just hold on for a second. So, Bev, what I'm saying is that in the real world that we're talking about, right, we're never getting a pure triangle. We're getting something that's very close to a triangle. The lines aren't going to be perfectly straight if we were able to get to enough precision.
Yeah, they are, Scott.
What?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Very exact
How do you know?
triangles.
How can you say they're perfect?
Because they triangulate places. That's what they do.
He imagines it. He imagines it to be straight.
I mean,
I
you
don't
couldn't have
imagine
any
it at
tool,
all.
man.
They
Shut up,
definitely
Jose.
know
You're just
how
a
to
fake
triangulate
Glover.
You
positions.
couldn't possibly know whether they're perfect or not because you can't see that close.
You have heard of trigonometry and mathematical proofs, right?
Do you really not understand the point I'm making about the real world being approximate versus the abstract world being perfect?
No, you realize that trigonometry is a mathematical thing, and there are proofs within mathematics to prove the truth within it, right?
Yes, in the abstract side.
No, you prove it in reality, right, by going through a process called a proof.
Yes, you're proving something that is in the abstract, though.
No,
You're not proving anything about the
no,
physical
you are
world.
not. With right line geometry, you are just using what is in reality, i.e., vertical, horizontal, two right lines intersecting at a right angle. It's
how do
used
you
by
ever know that you have a
everybody.
right angle? How do you ever know if you have a right angle in the real world?
Straight lines are straight in
How do you
reality.
measure a
They
straight line
don't
in the real world?
curve. They're
How
called
do you measure
curve
that?
lines.
How do you measure that in the real world?
How do you measure?
Yeah, a perfectly straight line. How in the real
Horizontal. You measure either distances horizontally or vertically because they are the
To what
shortest
precision?
distance between 2 points.
To what precision?
Pardon?
To what precision?
Me, with the auto level, I would say it says 1 millimeter to per kilometer, but
How
with
do
a
you know
water
that
with a water level, I could be even more exact, and it would
Okay,
only depend on the length of the tube.
Okay,
And
so
it would
let's
still
say-
be
let's say-
exact.
let's say-
It will be
Oh my
horizontal.
God. Okay, so let's say you can get to a nanometers level of precision, okay? A nanometer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that's your level of precision. How do you know that it's going to maintain and hold up at less than nanometer? How do you know that, and more precisely, you won't discover there's an aberration? It's not quite perfect.
Is that what sort of that argument?
That is an argument about how the real world is not the same thing as the
Straight.
abstract world. In the
Straight.
real
Well,
world,
straight means is the shortest distance between 2 points, right? That's
Yes.
what it means.
I know, but when you
Straight.
measure to a nanometer
If it's
precision,
not
you don't know
straight,
if you got
then
it
you
perfectly
can't
right
call
at
it
less than a
straight.
nanometer.
Straight line distance, horizontals.
Do you really not understand this concept that I'm saying? Or are you being perverse?
Yeah, no, he doesn't understand this. He's dumb.
Wow.
What Scott just
Of course
got
I
bodied.
understand it.
He
What
got
the fuck?
dropped. Scott got dropped and bodied.
I don't know who you are, kid, but you're just wrong, dude. I don't like stop kibitzing, please.
In the real
So, Bev,
world.
what I'm trying to express to you is that in the real world, you're forced to deal with precision at things more precise
I
than what you're
do
dealing
deal
with.
in the
Hold
real
on,
world,
hold on,
Scott.
hold on,
That's
Bev,
where
hold
I
on, Bev.
live.
Hey, Bev, let me finish what I'm saying before you interrupt. You're
Okay.
forced to deal at a certain precision level, okay?
Mhm.
If things more precise than the level you're working in, you don't have information. You don't know for sure that the things maintain straight or maintain a not perfect 90 degrees. For all you know, it's 90.00000001 because you're not that precise.
Just a
when you do
straight
the math.
line.
And that's why the
Scott,
real
that's
world
all
is
we're
always
bothered
a little
about.
bit
Just
of
the
an
horizontal.
approximation.
Just the horizontal. You're all
I'm sorry, you interrupted me
perpendiculars
again.
to it will be.
I don't know if you heard the ending, but you interrupted again.
Right. Do you want to? How accurate do you think? I'll get that number thing out again, right? And tell
It
us
doesn't
how
matter how
accurate
accurate,
do you
it's always
think
gonna
you
be
could be? You were
more
going to a nanometer or whatever.
Yeah,
and I have
right.
heard of a few people doing some really good numbers.